Hey, good evening, guys. Welcome to Should Suns Rise, a Once More Into the Void story. My name is Victor. I use he and they pronouns, and I will be playing Anarhk, your beloved captain. And let's go around the table and introduce ourselves. Hamnah.
Yes, hello. My name is Hamnah. I use any and all pronouns. And today I will be playing Lyana, who uses he, they pronouns, who is our bound. And I will pass things over to Jay.
Hi, I'm Jay. I use she, her pronouns, and so does the lovely Mleta Nuru, who is the steadfast, the second in command, the eye in the sky, the reliable one. Up next, whoever wants to open their mouth, let's go.
Cleric.
All right, it's me. Hello, I'm Cleric. I use he, they pronouns, and I'll be playing the broken, aka Lopez, uses they, them pronouns. So broken, so needy.
Hold on. I just saw a technicality with my. Oh, okay, got it. Hello, I'm Catrina. My mic is picking up everyone else, so if you hear an echo, it's all my fault. I use she and they pronouns, and I play L.E.O, the sad android who also uses they them pronouns. I'm very excited to explore emotions in this computer person.
All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Now we have a new special it's like a Twitch command, right? A little incentive for you guys to help join us in the game, and also help us pay us, please. Thank you. So now we have new tips. So if you guys tip us $5, you get to either reveal the next card that we draw, or reveal a card for a player or in the enemy deck. So that way we know a little bit of what might be going on and what's coming ahead. Or if you're more generous or more hateful, you can pay $15 to add a card to a specific player's hand or the enemy deck. You can either make things easier or make things harder for us. And of course, knowing you guys, that final mission will be a doozy, won't it?
I just need one black card. I just need one black card. That's it. Just one, and I live. That's it. That's all I know.
Buy Cleric Silence for $15.
Cleric will never speak ever again.
We'll just sit silent in this call for the next 3 hours.
That'll be very hard considering our next game.
Our next 3 games.
Catrina, my dear, you are up first on our mini games tonight. How about you introduce your mini games and who you're playing with tonight?
Absolutely. I am for my mini game, I chose Blowing Off Steam, the subtitle of which is Even Big Goddamn Heroes Need to Take a Break. And it's a mini game for 2 crew members who are just trying to relax and unwind and finding trouble with that. And I chose to play with Cleric and have a little moment between these characters.
Sounds good.
Should we do a little summary of like what happened last time first, or no?
If you guys, I think that's a great idea. If you guys didn't join us last week, Anarhk has gotten wind that the enemies that our crew has defeated in the past has come back, and the galaxy needs saving again. So he went around and found his old crew, and let's just say they were varying levels of happy to see him. We've got Lopez, our broken, who hates Anarhk and all he stands for, and definitely broke some ribs during our first meeting.
Just a couple.
Yeah. We have L.E.O, who we found in a laboratory, and that got smashed up. So, L.E.O could leave. We found Lyana performing a ritual up in the mountains, and had a very a pair of oaths sworn between us. And then Mleta at home, who was unfortunately the last to know about this. And then everyone got together and was very, very blew off their own steam with talking shit about the captain. All right, and now we find ourselves here, and you guys will just go through the minigame.
All right. So where do you think L.E.O and Lopez would blow off steam at? Catrina, you're muted.
I muted for safety's sake and it blew up in my face immediately. Yeah, so I think either I'm kind of leaning toward an old hangout that's seen better days but holds sentimental value, but also a seedy club sounds like a lot of fun. So I need help deciding.
I think a CD club would be fun, and I like to imagine it's like the rest of the crew. We all like Anarhk invited everyone out to go for a drink, just like, hey, right before we take off and do like some intense minutes, let's like go get a drink. And so everyone goes and does that. And so the club is just like very like it's very loud, a lot of noises, a lot of things that are happening. And so while everyone's getting drinks, kind of relaxing, Lopez is just kind of sitting in a booth. Like I think Anarhk was like, we all sat in a booth and we're kind of just all sitting. And Anarhk was like, yo, let's go dance. And everyone got up and like had to do that. And then I think Lopez just kept sitting at the booth, just like staring at a drink that is just right in front of him and just staring at it.
I like that because L.E.O also would probably just sit staring at their drink in the booth as well because they don't drink anything. So it's just like an awkward order. It's like, well, they went and ordered like specifically just to fit in with the rest of the crew, so that they didn't look like weird or anything. And so I think that's where we find L.E.O engaging with I keep wanting to call you Cleric Lopez. There we go. That's my. I have to put your name on. Yeah, we'll find L.E.O engaging with Lopez as they like turn from their drink and like slowly crane their head up and stare at Lopez. And I think that's where we'll find it. We'll start.
I don't know if I guess you'd be the one with the most awkward because you're like, I don't want to look like an odd man out without the drink. So do you want to ask the awkward question first? So I think Lopez isn't saying anything. It's just like kind of just again staring at the drink and just like doing that.
I think L.E.O will. It's gonna be funny. Okay, so L.E.O's gonna start and try to ask the question first, and they'll go like, "Do you enjoy this kind of music?" And then like maybe Cleric doesn't hear them at first because the music's so loud, and so like their voice module like goes up like to 11, and they just yell, "Do you enjoy this kind of music?"
Ow. The music's fine. Like I love space pop or spop. It's pretty good. Spop. It's pretty good.
I enjoy spop as well. It seems to have a good recurring beat. Do you have any spop artists that are your favorites?
Yeah. I used to listen to Lady Goo Goo. I don't know if you've listened to them. And The Weekday. I don't know if you've ever heard them before, but both of them were pretty solid ones. Yeah. Those are the other ones. Like yeah. Do you listen to things, L.E.O? I don't know what you listen to.
Yes, I have downloaded a large collection, especially of Lady Goo Goo's discography. My favorite song of Lady Goo Goo's is Rad Bromance.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. That was pretty good. I was partial to the song Ariana. You know, they just like, don't call my name Ariana. It was pretty good.
Yes. I believe Lady Gugu has a long and illustrious career in their future, perhaps even in film.
Yeah, yeah. You see that? Yeah, she's acting in that that remake. I can't believe they remade what is it? The Shallow song like for the 13th other time.
I have 12 versions currently of that song. I suppose I need to find the 13th one and download it as well.
Yeah, I think that that's should be, we can probably go to the movie to watch it when it comes out on like on Spulu.
I would love to go to the movies with you. And like at this point, like the music is kind of quieted down and L.E.O finally registers that their voice is like 3 octaves higher. And so like they adjust for a moment, and I think that's when it dawns on them that like they are thriving at small talk.
Mhm.
And so they're gonna try and perhaps go into like the actual awkward questions.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. So give me a second to review these
Yeah.
awkward questions.
I think as soon as you're like, I'm thriving at small talk and just like shut down, like stop talking. I think Lopez just like, yeah, where's everybody else?
um everyone else is on the dance floor having a great time, and like L.E.O's hit this plateau like, oh no, what do I do now that I've engaged in small talk and can go into deeper talk? And that's when they immediately start asking about the captain. So they're going to bring up an unpleasant memory between Cleric and the captain. But it's one that L.E.O thinks was fine. So L.E.O is going to ask, yeah. There's so many.
So many wonderful memories.
So many wonderful moments. I think L.E.O is going to ask about perhaps like they remember a time that Lopez and the captain were on an away mission and they came back covered in slime, and L.E.O is just curious, and they say like, so when you came back from that, I wasn't able to register the type of slime that you were covered in, but I saw no acid burns and no other injuries, and so I'm wondering what happened between you and the captain to cause you to come back covered in so much slime.
Oh, you're talking about when we went to Primark 7, right?
Ah, yes, exactly, that mission.
That was a doozy of one. I remember we were there to just pick up some supplies for that what we needed for another run before we went to go hit the main base, and we were kind of just sitting there, and then Anarhk convinced me to go into this cave because there was 2 routes we could have gone. We could have gone down this long winding path, which was probably much safer. We could have gone down this long winding path, but Anarhk was like, hey, listen, we go to this cave, we don't know what's in there, we can just sprint through, be out before anybody even realizes. I wanted to go down the safe path, but Anarhk, once he gets talking,
the opposite of the logical choice.
Yeah, so he bet me 5 spunnies that I could go in there, and we could just make it out. And I, said, fuck it, sure. So we run into the cave, mind you, and we're sprinting. The only light is on my blaster. Anarch's going there with the gun, going up back. Suddenly we hear like a creaking. It's like coming out to the back, and I can feel the skin. And as soon as Lopez says skin, you can see like they go to touch the back of their neck, but immediately feel like metal. And he's like, I feel the back of my neck, like get all tingly. And I turn around, and it's this giant protean worm, like humongous. and it is starts chasing us. So we start running through the cave, screaming. I'm cursing out Anarhk. Anarhk is laughing, like you've never like giddily laughing. So we make it. We run all the way through the cave. At the end of the cave is an enemy encampment. So we're in front of us, enemy encampment, and then behind us, what did I call it? What is it? A Protean worm.
Protean worm.
Yeah, Protean worm right behind us. So what does Anarhk do? Anarhk grabs me, throws me to the ground, and just lets the Protean worm crumb in and just like destroy the enemy camp. We run in, get the supplies, and then we call for a pickup of the ship. But as we're doing it, as we go to grab the supplies, the Protean worm eats it. So then so we don't know what to do. So I jump into the mouth of the Protean worm and have to like grab it from its stomach, and that thing is gross and nasty, and have to like carve my way out of the worm. And so I reach out and like I got stuck on its little entrails, like because that thing has like 3 different stomachs. And then Anarhk reaches out, grabs me. We get covered in this slime. We get covered in this slime, and we're just drenched head to toe. And then we made it back, and then the ship got it. We got the supplies. So it was a fun mission. We had a drink afterwards out of it, like laughing about it. I got my money. I got my spunny. And then you see kind of Lopez kind of just gets very forlorn looking at the drink when they say like, we got a drink afterwards.
It appears you and Captain were very close.
We were. Yeah.
Do you anticipate the same thing happening this time? The same feeling?
What do you mean by that? What do you mean feeling?
Do you think that perhaps we can, with some time, return to the crew that we used to be?
Leo, I like it. So I'm going to be very honest. No. I mean, look at us, just genuinely. Anarhk still hasn't changed from their commit. How he got all of us on this ship blows my mind. But I don't think his charming ways are changing anytime soon.
Speaking of blowing up, the captain and I blew up my lab before I got here. So I suppose you may be right. But
Yeah.
I will confess that there is a part of me that hopes perhaps that you are wrong.
Leo, what'd you order to drink?
Spupperani and Sucker.
Oh, those are pretty good. I ordered Spisky. Every time I get this, I've gotten this drink every single time. And this is the first time that I've ordered the drink that I can't have it. If I were to put this in my body right now, it would crash my system. I'd have to isolate. I'd have to go back to the ship. I can't drink my favorite drink. All I can do is look at it. And you and I can't go back to the way things were. Especially since I have a walking reminder, not only on me, but right over there dancing.
Perhaps I can offer you companionship in your inability to drink, at least for tonight. I also, for various reasons, cannot have this drink. And so I dispose of drinks in a ceremonious way.
All
Would
right,
you
Leo.
like to know how?
How?
I take my drink, I raise it up, I cheer, as people do,
Mhm.
to you and I and the success of this mission so that we may not turn to it.
Mhm.
And then I throw it over my shoulder and see who it hits.
Leo. That, and I think Lopez kind of looks and he just kind of like chuckles and it's just like, you know what? Pa arriba, pa abajo, pa centro, and throws it across the shoulder and then grabs your hand and books it out.
Exactly.
So I and I imagine it hit like three, like a bridesmaid party that's happening in the bed. Just
Oh yeah. So Lopez's would definitely
What's
hit like
this
a bridesmaid party.
Swisky? Oh my
Leo, we gotta go. We gotta go.
god!
That
That's it.
voice coming out of your mouth, holy shit.
That's a Morovian bachelorette party. They will hunt us down for sport. We need to go.
I'm running as fast as I can. I promise.
I think that ends the scene.
So does that put us at card draws?
I think so.
Yeah,
Oh,
do you do card draws now?
I'm still processing that Vic can do that voice. What is that? Oh my god.
It's amazing.
I'm just channeling like the most like awful like Karen daughter in the world. And that's really that
Susan.
voice. Yeah.
Okay, so the first card is for Catrina, and we actually got 2 donations for card reveals, and I rolled dice to see who they were. So Catrina, you get to do the full card of this. You got
Ooh.
a 3 of clubs, so black.
Ooh.
Ooh, okay. And so that would mean loyalty is regained. If the crew member keeps the card, they briefly described what this regained loyalty looks like. So I want to actually take the second option with the black card and give it to Lopez,
Let's
and
fucking
use
go.
the opportunity to describe a moment of closeness between them, and maybe say, after they stop running and they're like catching their breath, like they're, I don't know, behind the club or whatever, and just like, well, Lopez is probably heaving, like Leo doesn't at all, like doesn't seem affected, isn't sweating, nothing like that.
I can't believe you
and-
just sprinted a mile.
Leo says spontaneity was one of my favorite things about this crew. I grew up in a very predictable world, and you all showed me it was different. And hearing you describe your mission with the captain reminded me of cleaning that up with Mleta in the quarry, with you and the captain and the 2 of us. And I think that's the memory. And like, meanwhile, while Lyana was like taking care of the ship, since all 4 of them were a mess or something.
I think Lopez is just like, yeah, I guess living in the moment's not too bad.
But here's to more moments.
Yeah. Oh wait, I think that bachelorette party is catching up. We need to go.
I see them! Oh my
Oh
god!
god!
Run faster! Run faster! Kick this trash can over behind us! Run!
I'm so sorry. He throws another person in front of it. Just
Leo's just throwing like random garbage from the street behind them.
Start the
Just, like,
ship!
heaving
Start
it
the
up with like humongous android strength, like a park bench behind them. Like
run to the market.
We still
So
have a card draw.
I know. So before I get to the card draw, we got the second card reveal, and the person I rolled that on was Victor. Victor, you have 1 card in your deck, and that card is currently the 6 of clubs.
Not a bad number.
Okay.
And Cleric Lopez.
Nice.
The card
Yeah.
is red. But hey, you have a
Of
black
course
card in
it
your hand
is.
now, thanks to L.E.O.
Cleric, come back.
So this is going to be me retiring from the campaign. I really appreciate you having me here. Friends Little Dice, please subscribe to the channel. Okay, I gotta describe the enemy goes stronger. You know, the funny part of me is like now that that bachelorette party will hunt us to the day they won't stop hunting us.
I love that.
The funny part of me was, but I can do it more serious, whatever we want.
No, I love that. The bachelorette party is actually secretly part of the enemy's squad. They're just here on vacation. Specifically, they're on leave for the bachelorette party, but they're gonna go back.
And we've ruined it, and now they're gonna hunt us down with even more vigor. Oh.
Can't believe you ruined my big night.
I'll never forgive you.
I fucking hate this voice. Get me off. Get me
I'm
off.
honestly now just doing it because of Katie.
Oh,
Love you, Chad.
God. At least thank you for the black card. But Lopez is not making out this mission. Don't get attached to Lopez, everybody.
Oh. Don't worry, every single red card that you pull actually brings down the whole team.
Oh, great.
Don't get attached to any of us. We're all gonna die.
Yeah. All right, Catrina, thank you so much, Catrina and Cleric, for leading us in that first game.
Oh.
I'm glad I had fun. Thank you.
Hamnah, dear, you've got our next game going.
All right. The next game that we will be playing is called What We Once Were. We can't leave the past behind. What We Once Were is a minigame for 2 or more crew members who experience a flashback, a direct look at the past that may hurt or strengthen us. It's a reflective and insightful time. And I have chosen Lyana will be experiencing this flashback with none other than Lopez.
Oh my God,
someone
is it
who
me
is
ag-
essential in influencing who Lyana is now. So,
God.
Lopez, I ask you,
Mhm.
what moment has triggered this flashback? What memories are we sort of like? What items have we come upon that have triggered this nostalgic reflection?
Before we dive into this emotional scene, I will say it's very dangerous for you to everyone to keep letting me have free reign of lore, because I'm just gonna keep dropping spoos and spop and spoo. It's very dangerous. But I think that Lopez got back to the ship after like having a whole the whole running away with L.E.O, and is like kind of feeling this like kind of euphoric feeling of like I feel kind of like my old self again. Like I feel good. Like that was fun. Like I haven't had that much fun in a while. And I picked up a new tradition. Like, hey, I can't drink, but at least now I can do something fun while I'm at the bar or when I'm doing that. And then like gets to their like cabin room and is kind of just like taking a deep breath. And the first thing that greets them is a photo of like the whole group together, and like Lopez without the armor on, without the suit, without everything, and just looking like right before their big mission, like smiling, everyone just together. The captain under one arm and like Lyana in the other, like doing that whole like right in the middle. And so it's like, and then it's like a stark reality that like hits Lopez, and it is like, no, it's not like it. I can't feel the same. I can't. And then goes over and like rips the photo up in like a fit of rage and like actually I don't think he rips the photo up, just takes the photo and like tosses it and like kind of outside the room, so like if Lyana's walking by would see the photo like fly and hit the wall.
I think Lyana was probably walking down the hallway as you threw it, and it like just as Lyana was passing by Lopez's room, it just flashes across their face and like just misses them, hitting the wall, and I imagine the glass on the frame like shatters as it hits the ground, and Lyana just kind of like pauses, looks down at the ground, sees what's there, and goes down to pick up the frame, some of the broken glass kind of falling down onto the ground as he does so. And he looks at it, takes in what exactly the photo is, and then looks over at the open door to your room.
And I think you just see like the light illuminates in, but like the whole room is dark, and like the room is very much like torn up. But you also see like there's in this room now are what used to, because you remember Lopez's old room. Like Lopez's old room used to be like blasters and like posters of like Lady Cuckoo and things of that, and like different posters and just like all around. But now it's filled with like equipment, like medical equipment all around the side. Like posters have been taken down, everything. Like even the blaster is now just in the middle of the like room, but it's filled with just medical equipment like all around. And like just illuminating like all the kind of like lights kind of illuminate and just like see Lopez kind of just like hunched, like standing like hunched with like their back to you.
Lyana, still holding this photograph, this picture frame, walks not into the room, but I think just into the doorway, into the door frame, and leans against it. And in this very sterile, fluorescent, almost like medical lighting in Lopez's room, even Lyana, I think, looks different than he did in that picture. It kind of brings into stark relief this big scar that they have on their right cheek that's kind of flowing like tentacles, like water across their face. And they look at Lopez's back, the tattoo of the wings and eyes and feathers, kind of like the colors shifting really rapidly in this state. And he just kind of whispers, "Are you okay?"
Do I look okay? No, I'm sorry. I'm fine.
You don't seem fine. Quite frankly, you haven't seemed fine ever since we all came back together.
Stop that. Stop it. Just stop it. Stop with that all knowing bullshit. That I can feel what you're feeling bullshit. Stop.
Lopez, I'm not claiming to understand what you're going through here. Just commenting on what I can see. And I'm not talking about... And Lyana just kind of like looks up around at the room, at all of the medical equipment.
Mm. Yeah, well, I'm fine. So, thank you for your concern. I am doing great.
Well, if you're doing so great, let me be the first to say that I am not. I wanted to apologize to you, actually, Lopez, for the other day. When we were all watching TV, watching Spitball together, and I... well, I forgot that things have changed for you, for all of us. I want to apologize for pushing you too far.
And I think Lopez kind of like the shoulders raise and is kind of just like wants to say more, but it's kind of just like, I appreciate the apology. It's a lot of delicate equipment on here, and if it even messes up a fraction of something, it puts me in a lot of danger.
You don't have to explain to me.
I do. I feel, and I think Lopez goes and like grips some of the equipment, you know, like that back of the chair, like grip, like I am something my therapist taught me when I was going through physical therapy, through everything, and also just recovery, told me that I get, I need to explain the anger. Like I can't just be angry at people to be angry. I gotta explain the anger. And I got upset because the equipment, like I said, if you even touch, if something goes wrong, I puts my life in danger. This thing can take a bullet, like it take blaster fire, but someone presses a dial in the wrong way and suddenly turns my body into shock. So when you got close to me, it kind of triggered that kind of fear, and I apologize for lashing out. I shouldn't have.
And I think Lyana just kind of smiles, a small smile that doesn't quite reach their eyes. And they hold out this photograph, this picture frame, still standing in the doorway. He hasn't come into the room at this point. And he holds out this picture frame to Lopez and says, I remember when being close didn't cause you fear.
Takes the photograph, kind of just looks at it, and it's just like, and that was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. A lot has changed for all of us. But it was nice, wasn't it?
I mean, if constant life or death situations, random bar fights, and getting blasted at by everyone in the known galaxy is fun, then
Well, I didn't mean all of the missions, I meant. And Lyana looks right into Lopez's eyes. I meant being close.
and I think for the first time, because Lopez again is like 6 foot, like 6'6" in a giant suit of armor, and I think as soon as Lopez even tries to remotely make eye contact with Lyana, you see them get so small in a way that like it looks as if Leon is the taller one in the situation. And it's just like I and you see, I think the processing of like, because the visor's on, you can't really see it, but like in Lopez's mind, there's so many things racing, and it's just like and like shoves the photo back to you. It's like I don't, I can't, I don't, I don't.
And Lyana grips this picture frame a little bit harder than they probably need to. And as he does so, I think they're very, very careful to hold on to the frame in a part where his hands will not touch Lopez's. They are probably maybe like an inch apart. But Lyana is very careful not to make that same mistake again.
I think you should leave. I yeah, I think And I think you hear Lopez's voice break in a way that you can like Liana, I think, would sense that they're like Lopez is holding back tears. It's just like, I really do think you should. I think you should go.
And I think Lyana just nods, takes a step back, and turns, but hesitates just outside the door. And before he walks away, he just says quietly, looking at the photograph, not at Lopez, I still remember the promise we made together. For what it's worth. And they turn to walk out down the hallway.
And I think as you walk out, very softly, like not enough that maybe even Leon could hear, like so like Leon would be like he would be like, I don't know if I misheard that. You definitely hear just like, I do too. And so like as Leona walks down the hallway, I think you just see like Lopez as the door kind of shuts on their in their room, is just sitting on the bed, just like head in hands, but again, the suit, so they're just putting their head in their helmets. They can't even like touch their own face to wipe their own tears that are coming down in their suit.
And I think Liana just goes down the hallway, not really sure where exactly he's going, forgetting where they were going in the first place before all of this happened, and just goes to the first empty room that they can find, closes the door, presses their back up against it, and just sinks to the floor, I think, staring at this picture in front of them. And so technically, we're supposed to pick a revelation that has come out from this flashback, this nostalgic jaunt into the past. It's supposed to be who has revealed the most about themselves during this, but I honestly don't know the answer in this scene. So if anybody else here wants to offer your opinion on who you think did that.
I think the person who introduced new information was Liana. About this about this promise. What?
Oh my god, what is it?
Oh, I don't know. We're gonna have to figure that out later.
Don't ask us right now.
I maybe made that up. Okay. I will say that the revelation that occurs is these old memories unearth many more, and we both stand in the flood of the past and its consequences. We both carry a younger part of ourselves into the future and tell each other how our hearts have changed in the present.
I think for Lopez, sitting there crying tears, no, is kind of just like remembers the promise and remembers how happy they used to be just being around Lyana, and remembers that like kind of like all those years away was like, I need to be by myself. I'm not like, everything's changed. I need to be alone. Like I'm hurt. This is kind of thing. But then a small part of them, the reason was like, what if Liana doesn't like me the way I am now? And so that kind of thought of like that love, but then that genuine fear like mixed together. And so it's like the old, like the spark of like that old romance, like kind of, or that old feelings are just like there, but that one nagging fear, that one nagging question doesn't go away.
And I think for Liana, the thing that has changed for them in his heart in the context of this relationship is that Liana had never wavered. Not once, ever, in the time that they've been away. Lopez and Liana have not spoken since that last mission. They have not seen each other. But Liana did not forget and did not waver. They are bound in more ways than one, I think. And the thing that I think has changed for him in this is the fear that for Lopez a lot has changed, and not just physically.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Well then, would you two like your cards?
Yes, please.
Who wants to
Yeah.
go first?
I'm gonna say I'll go first because every time I've gone second, I've gotten a red card. So
All right, you ready?
I'm my fingers are crossed. Mayor, please give good vibes.
I'm sorry, it was red.
No way. This feels rigged. This feels so
I
rigged.
promise it's not.
I'm so sorry, Lopez.
Cleric, you gonna be okay, buddy?
Hey, friends who roll dice, thank you for having me. I really do appreciate it. This has been a wonderful stream. This has been a wonderful
This is
channel.
gonna be a recurring bit, I feel
It's been a
like.
wonderful channel. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to donate. Make sure to check out the other programs that are coming out soon.
What? Demon Creek? What?
What? Camp Carnage? What?
All these amazing other programs that are happening. I gotta go.
All right. How does the enemy get stronger?
You know what? Because I'm feeling spicy from the other one, they somehow get access to the schematics of Lopez's suit, so they know how to mess with it.
Cleric, I love your ideas. I'm so glad that you are here on this cast.
If we're gonna suffer, we're gonna suffer greatly.
Hamnah, would you like your card?
Yes, please. If I say no, what happens? I'm just curious.
We just sit here for the next like 2 hours, just like, hey.
We go immediately to break instead of waiting.
You got a black card. See if you win
This is bullshit!
time, Cleric.
I don't even want it. Take it.
No, you do not. Do you
I
not
don't
want
even
it?
want it.
Want it?
I don't even want it. You know what?
want it?
You know what? No. You know what? I want all
You
the
want
red
it?
cards. I want all the red cards. Let's go.
All right. I guess I will keep it then. You said you don't want it. I'm gonna give it to you. You said you don't want it. You said you don't want it. So loyalty is regained, and I think that seeing Lopez like this, seeing them so alone, and feeling like they have to be so alone, as much as it hurts Lyana to consider that maybe their relationship might not be able to be the same as it was before, it kind of solidifies for Lyana that we as a crew need to be there for Lopez. And we need to show them that they don't have to be alone right now. That, just because the romantic aspect of the relationship maybe is in question doesn't mean that the rest of it has to be. And I think it's just this like resolve that has been steeled seeing Lopez like that.
That's really great, guys. Thank you so much. And that's our hour mark. So folks, we're going to take a quick 5 to 10 minute break, and then we'll be right back in with Jay leading the charge. All right, I'm excited to see you guys soon. Thank you so much for coming.
Hey everybody, and we are back. Handing it over back to y'all.
All right, guys, welcome back. We just went through like 2 really like fun but heartbreaking scenes, and let's keep it coming. Jay, please go ahead and introduce your game.
Okay, we're gonna play Who Do You Think You Are? Yeah, I said what I said. It's a mini game for 2 crew members on the verge of a full-blown confrontation, dragging hidden and unnamed emotions into the light. I'll pick someone else to be in the scene with me, but others can join whenever they want. And for this one, the ship is in dire need of repairs, and it's going to take 2 of us to fix it. So I'm in one of the main hallways that leads to the bridge, but it's just off to the side, so it's like on the edge, like right before you get to where the bulkheads would be. That's where we're going to be at. And I am going to grab Lopez as
What? Oh, me?
Hey, can I borrow you for a second?
Okay, so I think Lopez is again just is this all like I think this is still well within the time frame of like the past two scenes. So I think
Yeah.
Lopez is just like finished like all the big emotional work that is happening with Lyana and just kind of walked out the room. And I think it's just walking to like punch something or like shoot, go to like the go to the training room to just like shoot their blaster, and then I think you call out to them. I'm just like, yeah, what do you need?
Yeah, a couple things have changed around here since the last time you were on board, and I do need a second set of hands and a fairly sharp brain, and you know you're up there, so come with me.
Can you call anyone else? I mean, it's like is Anarhk busy? I usually know he isn't, but
I said a sharp mind.
all right, fine. And so Lopez comes over and helps you out.
Thank you. All right, so if you recall the last time we nearly died on this rock, I should say on this bucket, we've got some improvements that I just need to recalibrate and make sure that they're actually working. So we want to make sure that we don't get dinged so hard we see the future and the past at the same time. Our newer shields are actually designed to not just disperse the energy, but to cycle it. So that way, if we have to play dead stick, if we have to act like we have no signals, no power, we still have power that's being operated by the fire that we've taken recently. So I have to climb up here and make sure that everything's working. And I need you to stay down here and help me with this part. Fun part, if I do this wrong, you get to zap me.
That will be fun for me, yeah.
Exactly. I knew you'd enjoy yourself. All right, so we're gonna basically have to hook up this part here. And so Mleta shows you how to do the thing she's asking you to do. And basically, we're just gonna make sure the entire ship is working properly, but we're at the key point where we can see all of the different controls from one area instead of having to go around the old-fashioned way. We do have a lot of like scientific stuff to help us do it faster, but it does need a little bit of a kick at the beginning. And that's where we come in with our totally not secondhand, like, you know, jury rigged together. We got this off of some kind of intergalactic torrent site. It's totally legit licensed defense software. Yeah, no, it's not.
Yeah, totally legit. It has like 3 different pop-ups happening at this moment.
Oh yeah, totally. We're just gonna close these ads right here. And
just like press that and that and that. Wait, do I ask the question first or do you ask the question?
Okay, let's see. The player whose character has the most anger in their heart takes the first turn. You get to go ahead and ask a leading question that I'll have to answer. Oh wait, I skipped the part, sorry. So this is gonna sound like so bad. Each crew member describes what has changed about them since we last saw them. I think we have an inkling of that, but
yeah.
So I know a lot has changed for you since the last time we saw each other.
Yeah, I grew out my hair.
You know, I've always thought that would be a good look for you.
Yep. Finding the right barber was intense, but found it. Do you need the sprench?
No, you hold on to the sprench. I've got the sprocket.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, and you seem to not have changed at all. I mean, still following Anarhk like a puppy.
Yeah, I think sometimes the easiest way to lead can be letting the other person think that you're following.
Yeah, but when you're actually just following, I guess that philosophy doesn't really matter, does it?
At the end of the day, what's more important? How you get to the goal or that the goal is reached?
Well, if your goal is covered in bodies, then is it really a good goal?
Well, whose bodies are they?
Mine and the rest of the crew's. So
I hear you. But it's not.
Maybe we should just work on this in silence for a little bit, huh?
I hear
Sprocket.
I hear you, but
Sprocket.
We wouldn't be having this conversation if you were actually a body. If God help me, if something had happened to you that was even worse than what you've already experienced. If you were not able to be here calling me on my bullshit, I don't think I could live with myself.
Yeah, you can live with Anarhk just fine.
I wouldn't say just fine is an accurate summation.
But you stayed. Everyone else left and abandoned each other, and you stayed. So
I don't see you guys leaving as abandoning each other. I see you guys leaving as something you had to do to survive, because your mental health was something that you were not going to be able to recuperate still in the toxic environment. And I'm going to say it. I'm going to acknowledge that it was not healthy being in the situation when we don't have the distraction of the enemy breathing down our necks. We need to find a healthier way to relate to each other. And I'm working on that. And I know that you're working on it too in your own way. But I'm not going to tell you how to feel or how to express your feelings. I'm just here to listen. And also here to fix that. Thank you for this French.
And I think as they're handing you it, they kind of like pull the hand away, and like from it is where you're reaching for it. And it's like, you know what, Mleta? Fuck you. This whole like I get where you're coming from bullshit. I can't stand it. It's so dumb and just so it's so condescending. So I want to what's the point of this? You keep saying, "Oh, I stayed because I was gonna lead from the back. I stayed because you all had to go and I wanted to be the center. I stayed because Anarhk needed somebody." Bullshit. Anarhk is a grown ass person. They can take care of themselves. They can wipe their own ass. They don't need you. So why? Just why are you even we having these discussions? I don't get it. You're trying to be this pseudo caretaker mom figure, whatever the fuck is going on here. Anarch's a grown ass man. We're all adults. What's going on? Like what do you get out of this?
You're right. I can't say I know where you're coming from because I don't know. I haven't lived your experience. I haven't been through exactly what you've been through. And you're right. Everyone is an adult. I'm not trying to baby anybody or mother anybody. Thank God I'm not your mother. No, thank you. I'm just trying to be the best person I can be in this shitty situation that we're all in. And there may have been 1,000 different things we could have done differently. There may have been things that I could have done differently and things I could have said. But that is not relevant after the choices are already made and the chips have already fallen where they are. All we can do is move forward, but without making excuses for our past actions. And so I will never do that. And I will never pretend like I know better than you what you should have said or done, or that I am flawless, because I'm not. And I'm not saying that I had to stay to change the captain's diapers or to like be some beacon of hope. I am just another person whose wounds are not on the outside where you can see them. And I'm not here to try to relate to you or talk about how we're all hurting, because that's not relevant here. What's relevant is that we still have a goal to work on together and we still have something we have to do. But that does not mean we put aside the hurt that we've caused each other and the hurt that I have caused you by not being the best person I could have been at that time. I feel like what I'm trying to make up for is not reaching out to you, even though I told myself that maybe they couldn't separate me from the captain in their minds. And I shouldn't have spoken for you when you're right here. When you're a person with your own voice, I shouldn't have let myself think. I shouldn't have lied to myself and said that I was inseparable from the captain and that it was not fair for me to reach out to you because you would just see me as a proxy. Do you see me as a proxy still? Did you see me as a proxy then? Because the you in my mind that I've spoken to a million times can't answer those questions for me. Only you can.
I think something you said like gets under Lopez's skin, like what you're saying is very valid, but Lopez just focuses on one thing and like gets underneath their skin. And it's like I should have reached out, but I didn't. Kind of vibe is just like that's what really gets like gets under their skin and is just like, and so they get angry about it and they're just like, you know, I you're not like the captain, Mleta. I don't see you like the captain. Because at least Anarhk owns his bullshit. At least Anarhk can look me in the eyes, even if it's all bullshit, and say, and just own it. You are worse than the captain. Because you just prattle on and on and on about all this shit. But you're not even, you're just like following along with everything. Oh, I want to talk to you because I might have been seen as the captain. Maybe I wouldn't see you as the captain if you weren't always 2 feet behind him. Constantly asking Anarhk, what do we do now? Why didn't you tell me this? Why didn't I do that? Why didn't I do that? You don't think for yourself, Mleta. And for all I hate Anarhk, and I hate Anarhk, I at least can look him in the eyes and say that. To you, I don't even know who I'm looking at, what I'm getting from this.
So, from your perspective, you don't hate me because you think all I do is support the captain without thinking about it. You hate the captain because you can at least see his actions for what they are. But for me, you feel nothing because I'm nothing.
I think Lopez kind of just like sits there and like lets the silence kind of build and is kind of just like, Cleric me is like feels so bad about this interaction, but Lopez me is like, what's less than nothing?
You know, it's funny. I figured I would be deserving of some of this hatred because there's absolutely been decisions that Anarhk and I have made together that he's been the mouthpiece for, but I absolutely had my part to play in those. And maybe it's unfair to him that he gets all the vitriol and I get either the absence of emotion that goes towards someone whose actions are mostly unseen or whatever this is. Because you definitely feel something. These words aren't coming from nowhere.
What do you mean by that?
If I was as meaningless to you as you seem to imply, I don't think we'd be having this conversation.
You're the one who called me over here. There's like a ship full of like people you could have called over.
Right. And everyone has their varying skills and their part to play and their usefulness. And we have our different relationships. But with you, I felt like I wanted to touch base and see how you were and see if there was something I could have done differently or if I could have reached out to you more. And I feel like obviously something has changed because, and I don't mean cosmetically or physically, I mean emotionally and mentally, because this is not who we were before. And I just want to know what happened. Because the last time we spoke, maybe things weren't great, they weren't perfect, but they definitely weren't this.
And I think a lot of emotions are slipping in Lopez at the moment, which is like the the joy of hanging out with L.E.O and feeling like a new normal. The reminder of the reminder of like Lyana and the emotions that were happening there, and like kind of the dread of like what is new, and then like then Mleta kind of is like asking like what's wrong, like kind of confronted, and then the saying I think like Victor said the most hated phrase that Lopez has. And I want to see something before I do something. Before I yeah. Lopez just takes the spool box and tosses it across the room. And just kind of throws it, lets it all clang, lets it all like let there and like sit all there, and is just like, fuck you.
Well, if you're saying
Fuck
you don't want to
you.
fix things, you couldn't
you.
have been clearer.
Absolutely no, fuck you. Who the fuck do you think you are?
Mleta's crying.
Oh, and I think
silently crying,
Yeah.
just silently.
Yeah. And I think Lopez is so wrapped up in their own emotions, and they're just like cursing you out, just going back and forth. I don't know if this is a moment that we want to ask any of the crew hears this moment.
At this point, they have to.
Yeah. Yeah. See if anyone else wants to jump in this. Also, Jay, I love this interaction with you. This is so much fun. I'm having a great time.
Yeah, I want to do a quick check-in. Like, Jay, you okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Cleric, you okay? All right.
Yeah, I'm
perfect.
good. I do again. Good.
Mleta's not doing so good, but I'm fine.
Gotcha.
I think as everybody, like, as your voices are ringing out throughout the hallways
Well,
of
this whole
the
time,
ship,
Mleta hasn't raised her voice once. It's just been
as the
Oh,
singular
yeah.
voice
Lopez
of
being louder and
Lopez
louder.
is ringing out. And we hear, I think, like the clattering of the spool box as Lopez so eloquently put it, like crashes up against the wall. I think maybe the room that Lyana had been sort of holing away in was like somewhat nearby, and they had like heard all of this. And
If anyone's on the bridge,
like,
they definitely heard this.
and I think they kind of like open the door and they look out to see what's going on, and they like kind of like scramble out and like run towards the two of you. What's going on? I heard shouting. Are we being attacked?
Fuck you, Mleta. And it's just like not even acknowledging that Lyana is there. And I think just Lopez is just stuck on that. It's like, and it's just like stuck on that phrase, just staring at you, just like I think this is one of the times where the suit, like Lyana saw Lopez crumple before, and it's now risen like to a height that is like high, and it's just like you can't even see, even in the brief glimpses that you could sometimes see. Actually, you know what? I think Mleta can somehow get a glimpse of like Lopez's eyes in the mask, which sometimes is very hard to see in the helmet. And you do see like tears streaming down Lopez's face, kind of in the same way.
And I think Lyana kind of like steps in between the two of you as Lopez is continuing on their tirade, kind of steps with like their back towards Mleta and like hand out, not touching Lopez, but just like towards Lopez, just saying, "Stop. What is happening?"
He's not trying to physically hurt me. It's fine. Really, it's fine. Still crying. It's really fine.
And I think,
Mleta,
yeah. Oh no, go for it. Yeah.
go for it.
I think once Mleta says that, Lopez hits like the anger kind of subsides, and the realization kind of hurts, and it like realizes like, oh my god, what the fuck have I done? And it's just like you see like crumples, and it's just like you like kind of just stands there and is like looking back and forth, and it's just like I'm sorry, and just runs away. Genuinely just runs away.
I think Lyana turns towards Mleta. Are you okay? What was all that about?
I'm fine. It's just that was like a patient running away in the middle of the surgery.
I'm sorry, I don't think I quite follow.
When you try to fix something that didn't heal right, and you're in the middle of restoring it, and they leave before you can finish, it's like they ran away with an open wound and stitches, and everything just.
Mleta,
It wasn't the best time to finish that conversation, I think.
Mleta, people are not for you to fix.
I'm not saying that it was me. I am not the surgeon here. We are both sitting here with open wounds trying to heal each other. And
Okay.
I know that's not how it works. I know that we should definitely get like professional help, but like, what are we supposed to do? Kidnap a therapist?
We can maybe reevaluate that idea later, but come.
And
why
I
don't
think
you
we can't keep going on like this. I feel like it was really important to try to talk about it because we have to rely on each other, and it's going to be life or death soon. And I just wanted them to know that I care and that I'm trying. So I thought if we could focus on a task together and talk about things, it would help. But I just don't think they were ready to talk to me.
And I think if it's okay with Mleta, Lyana is just going to like pull her in for like a hug.
It's okay.
And we'll just kind of hold tight, just letting Mleta just kind of like cry it out and just talk, vent if they need to. It's okay. Lopez will come around on their own time. I don't think we can force them to be ready.
I wasn't trying to force anything. I definitely wanted to give space in case it wasn't a good time, but I feel like when you're hurting this bad, they just don't know how to say, I'm not ready. And that was a very loud, I'm not ready, I think.
I know.
And like the problem is that the enemy doesn't care if we're ready or not. The enemy is not going to give us a chance to figure things out before they come. And it's good. I don't want to lose anybody.
You won't. You won't. And I think Leona's just there, like, rubbing their hand along Mleta's back. Trust me, I will not let any of you get hurt this time. Okay? It's not going to be like last time.
That's what we're trying to fix right now. We're trying to fix the walls of the ship. We're trying to fix the walls around our hearts. And we're trying to fix everything before it's too late.
Let's focus on that. Yeah? Walls of the ship.
Yeah.
I'm not really one for mechanics, but maybe.
I know. That's why I was trying to get Lopez.
And I think Lyana just kind of like looks around, like hoping that like L.E.O or Anarhk, somebody who's better at doing ship
And
work,
at that
is
very
around.
time, L.E.O pokes their head around the corner. They may or may not have just been there the whole time, but they're not going to tell anybody that they've been there the whole time. It's been a very like emotional moment, and so L.E.O wasn't sure where to interject to be helpful, but now they have a chance to be helpful. And yeah, so you see their head like pop around the corner and go, do we need to fix the walls? And then they kind of like walk over and they offer direct help, like and it's like, it may seem robotic, but it's very intentional in the way that they like immediately refocus on like, we got to fix the walls. So they're gonna let the humans feel emotions and use the excuse that they are an android to disguise any emotions, refocus.
L.E.O, if you're in the mood for some energy redistribution with shield reinforcement, have I got the job for you?
I am certainly in the mood for energy redistribution. It seems like the appropriate thing to do at this time.
Yes.
Could I do my own interjection? Whereas I feel like this is like in the middle of the ship and there's two halls. And I don't know if Leo wants to admit it, but Anarhk was standing just behind and just sort of staring at Leo. And like Leo's staring at them, and they're like both of them are sort of like, and then Anarhk takes the back way towards Lopez's cabin.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
If Anarhk is walking towards it, you slowly start hearing a very soft sobbing, but the sobbing sounds very mechanical because it's like being filtered through like a fucking speaker in a helmet. So it sounds more like crackling, but it's like a soft, very sobbing. And then if you get, I don't know, do you want to get closer to the door? I don't know what you want to do.
Oh yeah, no. Anarhk goes right up to the door.
You see kind of in like leaning up against their bed, probably the smallest you've seen Lopez in a very long time, even in like a giant fucking suit. Just like knees to chest, arms like across the knees, kind of like crying, and it's just slowly, like very sporadically while crying, just saying, "I'm like sorry, like I'm sorry, I'm sorry."
Mitox. And it is that captain's tone. It is the tone that's pushed you through every mission you've ever gone through.
And just not even like this, the sorries have stopped, but the sobbing hasn't. And like the kind of you see like a grip of the arms, kind of like to acknowledge that they heard.
You are not the only person who did something wrong over there. Mleta pushed too hard. Are you want to fight?
I think Lopez, like, there's two parts of Lopez at the moment. The one that is like, you should deal with this healthily. Like, this is like, you should have like an open conversation. Like probably the therapist had told them to, or like during. But then there's another part where it's like, I need to just get like to do something. So I think that part wins out, and Lopez kind of gets up and is like, yeah, let's fight.
Yeah. Sparring room's this way. It was your favorite room in the past, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was. And stomps past you.
And actually got his own way of curing things. How are we closing this game, guys?
Oh yeah.
We kind of like.
Do we have
really
to? We
did-
can just keep going forever now.
The character who reveals the most has to choose a closing question.
Jay, I think that was you, to be honest.
Yeah,
like
that's-
I want to say it was Mleta. Yeah.
yeah, Mleta.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, I mean, I'm currently in the hallway, totally crying into my uniform shirt, and y'all are off sparring. So who am I asking this question to?
I think
Maybe
honestly,
just
the
above
last
table,
one-
just asking.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Just
yeah.
thematically asking.
All right. Toxic captain said blame game.
Toxic Captain was like, why are you like saying sorry? I'm sorry. What?
I'm
that.
gonna make a custom Anarhk style Toxic Avenger figure for that. That's what you
Oh
get.
my god.
Hold on. I have to do the true wet cigarette laugh.
Oh my god.
I can't.
Anarhk is our
I-
problematic fave. That's all.
Seriously. Oh my
Fave is a
goodness.
strong word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our
So look,
Why'd you come
problematic
back?
acquaintance.
Why'd you come back, Lopez? Then, huh? Answer
maybe
that.
a promise.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I really do think the
So,
last one fits the
Mleta.
crew the best.
What is
Yeah.
the question for the audience? Just so that they
Yeah.
You
can
want
know.
to ask the question of Lyana instead? Put you on the spot. No. All right.
But I think like Vic was saying, or the last one, it probably is the best one we're at for a moment.
Can we read it out loud because the audience doesn't know what we're talking about?
Sure. I was gonna, Jay.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I'm on the wrong page. There it is. Let's see.
Sometimes we just have big emotions.
This is true.
Sometimes we have small emotions that we put through our fists.
Okay. I don't know. Am I allowed to phrase this question in a way that I think will give a more interesting answer?
Sure.
What truth are you hiding from?
I think the truth is a lot of this that Lopez doesn't want to. Everyone, all right, back up, back your faces up from the camera, back him up. I don't know what this is. Put your ears away. But I think the truth that Lopez is hiding from is that they hate Anarhk, but I think they also realize a lot of their own problems are their own. Like this issue of trust, this issue of, hey, who I am before and who I am now. They're not mutually exclusive. They can like coincide, but there's so much just I think Lopez is running from that and is putting a lot of blame on a lot of other people. So still hates Anarhk, but not as much as like they keep letting like. I think the hate for Anarhk is a lot more because they're also hating themselves and like pushing the blame away. And so like Mleta also got the back burner of that of like I'm so, and plus with like the conversation that just happened with Lyana and the mixing of like the new and old with L.E.O, that kind of conversation was like the middle of like I have so many issues that I need to work out. It's much easier to yell at other people. But I think Lopez also realizes that and it's just like I should not be taking it out on other people. My own issues.
You know what that is? Growth.
Growth. I don't know if I asked this question back to you or is that
That's not what it said.
It is just
That's
the
it.
yeah.
Cards.
Yeah. Cards.
Okay, who wants to go first and get their card first? So I cannot be blamed.
Cleric for the final time.
I'm gonna go second. I'm gonna
You're
go
gonna go
second.
second?
I'm gonna go second.
Oh,
I'm gonna go
God.
second. Big money, no whammy. Big money, no whammy.
Okay, before I pull that one, I am going to say that the tip that we got is a beneficial card for Jay. So I'll put that in your pile.
Oh, nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
And Jay, your
Yay.
drawn card is red.
Oh boy.
Stimp was just helping you out.
Yep. Appreciated.
The enemy grows stronger.
Oh boy. All right. Let's see. So, what do I do now? Oh, we totally did not play this as written, but we have fun anyway. Whatever. Because it's like, oh, we find ourselves at a stalemate, and a member of the crew is forced to come in and break up the confrontation, and then we draw the card.
Yeah,
It's a red card. You move from the game, and it does not go in any pile of cards. That's what it says. So close enough.
Oh, so the red one is like just removed from the game?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, okay, so that's good.
So that's
That's
an
good.
extra. Those are extra card pulls actually. So this end game card pull still happens.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, I was gonna mention. I was like, do we want to do the crew card pulls because everyone would pull a card.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. So the card I pulled for Jay gets just put to the side.
Yes, that is removed from the deck.
Okay.
Okay.
I
And then
will
we're going to
remove it.
pull.
It will not go in anyone's quote
Yeah,
unquote
so-
hand.
Pretty much, we're gonna draw 5 cards. Any red cards are tossed. Any black cards go into our hands. We don't do anything with those except gain them. And then we do the pulls for Jay and Lopez for Mleta and Lopez.
Okay.
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 I'm so
So
confused.
Lopez's pull is. I'm sorry.
Oh my
It doesn't go to the enemy
I've
deck.
been on this.
That
I've been on this show.
removed. That one gets removed. It
Yeah,
gets
it gets
removed. Remember,
removed.
this
Okay,
is the,
okay,
This is
okay.
the one that
Going
gets removed.
to their hand.
I love you, Mer. You're so good. I want you to know this anger is not towards you. If I'm sorry, I'm playing it up.
Oh no, no, I
Be safe.
know. It's it's annoyance at the game. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right. But we're pulling
3
for
more.
the 3 other cast
Oh,
members
might
that
be,
entered
might
the
be.
scene.
Okay, who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Okay, Hamnah, another red card.
That gets removed.
That's
Yeah,
good.
we're just pulling red
Okay.
cards out. Come on.
Okay.
Katrina or Vic?
Me.
Red.
Let's go.
Removed.
That's
Get it out of here.
All right. And another freaking. Wait, no, this is spades. This is spades.
yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
So Leo gets a black card.
Yay.
Nice.
For manipulating his human crewmates. They're
You know,
love
they're human
that.
crewmates. Yep.
As you do.
And now we do the end of game pulls. So that's Mleta
Alright, we just
and Lopez. That's
we
it.
just pulled 4 red cards.
Okay.
The odds of
so-
us getting a red card is so low.
Okay. So
Technically it's 2 decks mixed together, but yes.
2 more cards. I will pull for Lopez first. Sure. Red. And this one goes into the enemy deck.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. And Mleta.
So Lopez, hold on.
Oh God,
Lopez,
sorry.
how does the enemy get strong?
I want to hear what Mleta got. Give me one sec. I want to hear.
Because technically Lopez was supposed to be pulled second.
But I want no, not even that. I just want to know.
I could switch them.
No, it's fine. No, I'll take that red card. I'll take it.
Okay.
But I'm
Okay.
just so curious as to what Jay got.
Mleta got black.
So Friends Who Roll Dice is a great channel that you should come here and check out more. I'm on a podcast known as Monster Fuckers Anonymous. Okay. I've been on. I'm 3 times. Okay. The enemy grows stronger. You know what? Because this has been a very like Lopez, I guess. Lopez is getting shit on. Not only do they have the schematics to Lopez's armor, they also have Lopez's medical records, so they know exactly what Lopez is dealing with and how super exactly how to fuck with them in that suit.
And they know that you're just disloyal, according to them.
Wait. You're missing something. I know this is supposed to be bad, but like if they know how to make you
Mhm.
worse, they also know how to make you better.
Not probably,
know?
not necessarily.
Actually,
Yes, no, think about it.
no,
think
I
about
mean
it.
like
I mean,
think-
Lopez might be tempted.
They could improve you with technology.
So Lopez is gonna betray the group. Is that what's happening? Is we're setting up
no!
Lopez's betrayal arc?
Cleric's been saying
Lopez
that.
joins the enemy.
Wow,
Day
Jay, that's a great
one.
idea. Thanks, Jay. I really appreciate it.
Lopez is gonna join the Terminator Leo Legion.
Oh my god.
I could never have seen
All
this
right.
incredibly sexy plot coming. Oh my God.
Jay, you've got a black card.
What's the black card? Oh man.
You either
Let's
keep the
see.
card or you give it to another player.
Oh Lord. I have not been keeping track of how many cards I have or anything. I hope that's written down somewhere.
I have everything written down. Jay, you excluding this one, you have a total of 3 cards in your hand.
Oh, and I'm not supposed to know what they are.
You're not
No,
supposed to
you-
know what this.
You just know that they're black cards.
Oh, okay.
Unless someone pays us $5. What?
Compared to how everyone else is doing, am I all right? Like, should I keep this? I don't know.
Does everyone want to know how many cards they have in their hand?
Or do you not want to know?
No, we should. We're at least allowed to check that, but you can make that. You just make that decision, dear. You can either keep your card and describe what regained loyalty looks like, or you can give the card to another crew member. Like this can just purely be for story reasons.
Oh, okay. I'll keep it. And okay, so this whole conversation with Lopez has just kind of reinforced Mleta's need to, like, no matter how annoying people may find it to be more considerate and more understanding of everyone else's trauma. Because even though it hurts to be told things about yourself by people who have interacted with you, it doesn't take away other people's like experiences or make it less valid or need or necessary to know. So despite how incredibly painful that was, Mleta is still really committed to being there for everyone and listening and not pressuring not pressuring Lopez to open up unless they really want to, but just to make it known that they're there. And like, I feel like Mleta's like, I can just see those single eye rolling if I say that I'm here for you, buddy, later. But I'm still gonna say it because I feel like it needs to be said. And not only that, I mean it when I say something, and the person that I am is unchanged by the way I'm treated by others. I am still that same person no matter what happens to me. That's Mleta's personal commitment to herself and to her team.
All right. So we managed to do an hour on that game. How are you guys feeling? Do you guys want to go into second break? Do you guys want to run through to another game?
Let's do a short second break.
All right. Then, folks, we'll see you very soon. Thank you guys for watching. We'll go into our final hour in just a couple minutes.
Hey, everybody. We are back.
All right. Welcome back, folks. We're going into our final game for the night. Something to continue to like beat up your hearts, guys. And that game is What We Built Without You. This is what we could lose. What We Built Without You is a game for all of our crew members exploring a sanctuary. And so this sanctuary that we find ourselves in, well, Anarhk hasn't talked about it at all to any of you, because this is Anarhk's hometown on his home backwater planet. And this place, it is the most rickety looking area, but everyone is clothed well. Everyone seems happy. And in the middle of the square where we find ourselves, there is a hewn stone statue of two young men who look very similar, and they look very close to your captain. And the reason that Anarhk has not revealed the existence of this place until this very moment is because he has a lot to hide. So, everyone, something has forced us to come seek sanctuary at this place. What are we feeling? What's the drama right now, guys?
Well, the previous drama was that I was trying to get these repairs done before the enemy blows us out of the sky, but we couldn't get it together, and we about finished half of them when...
I do love that idea.
I think when we get like blaster fire start like hitting the ship, and just like so everyone has to like run to their positions. Like we were sparring in like the spar room, and then everyone else is like trying to do like blaster fire. And so like we try to figure it out, and we just get like a message like over the comms, just being like, "You ruined our bachelorette party, so now we're coming for blood."
Yes, Taylor, let them know.
You'll never sleep again.
What did you do?
We let you guys leave for 5 minutes.
What
and
did you
go
do?
And start some kind of war?
I think Lopez runs it as like, Leo made me do it.
And
I
Leo
find
looks
that
at the
hard to
crew. Leo looks at the crew and they seem to contemplate for a moment and they look over at Anarhk and in their mind they say, what would Anarhk do? And Leo said, I didn't see anything.
Oh, okay. We need to get out now because apparently we have murderous bachelorettes after us.
Yeah, Anarch's confused, and then looking at Lopez, looking at Leo, and it's just like, get to your stations. Why are we arguing about
It
who's
doesn't
fault
matter.
this
They
is?
have extremely high level ordnance. I don't care if they came from Shangri-La. We got to stop them. We got to get
Anarch
out of
just run
here. Let's
away,
go.
right? And Anarch is the pilot, and so we jump, and it's to location again that's like no one has seen, and it's the ship's practically limping all the way down, and that's where we end up in this town, right near the square with the two statues, and coming out to meet us is like a really old woman, and she comes up and she grabs Anarch by the face, and she's just like, you finally come home like this, Alan.
You know that sitcom moment where everyone says like a name at once, like Alan?
Alan? Yes, Alan.
Yes, Alan.
Yeah, and so the price to pay for coming to the sanctuary is Anarch, or Alan, has to talk to his mom.
I think we all, I don't know, I guess we're all just looking at each other after this moment, just like, Alan.
He's just dragged off. And you guys are free to
Did you
explore the
know?
sanctuary.
Did you know that was their name?
Mleta just laughs for 5 minutes straight, watching you get dragged away by your mom. I had no idea. I think there's a reason why he did not tell us about this place.
We're being
Anarch,
led by
huh.
somebody named Alan.
Who's currently being led by his ear down that dirt road there. Yeah.
No, that's a fierce woman. I could see that. Yeah, so no.
Yeah, I wouldn't fight back either. That fight back would just guarantee death faster.
Maybe we should change who the captain of our ship is to that woman.
I feel like that might be an upgrade.
I feel as though Alan's maker might have a better grip on how to control the ship.
Absolutely.
Since she
superior.
has
I
such a
can
great grip
hear
on it.
you.
You're being dragged off.
Ah!
It's no importa, Alan. It's no importa. You have fun with your mom.
Let me ask you guys. You're in this new place. So much has been revealed. Who trusts the sanctuary the least?
I feel like there's no one's ever gonna check for us here, so I'm good. Who would think to look here?
I think I'll make it Lyana. The reason being that Lyana knows about more than just science, you know, that there is something magical out there in the universe, and that most people are just too hard-headed to really want to tap into it. And so even though, you know, we've been given this assurity by Alan that we have been cloaked, that we cannot be followed here, etc., etc., I think Lyana is worried that there are other ways to find us that aren't technological. And so they are a little bit on edge while we're here.
Sounds good. Then that means, dear, that you take the first moment in the sanctuary.
Okay.
Choose a
I
moment,
think-
choose a crew member. Sorry.
Yeah. I think as we are let me just ask you specifically while we're here. So you say the sanctuary is this town, but is there a specific place that we're staying? Is it like your childhood home or like,
It's the childhood home. And I think once if you guys like follow after, there are like flowers, offerings, and pictures of like people from like the war, and then like the one that keeps up showing up is two young boys, two twins.
Do they look like Anarhk?
Yeah.
I would like to unravel that. Uh, I think in that case, because this picture keeps coming up of these two boys, and there's two statues of these men out front as well, it seems a little bit curious. So I think Lyana is going to spend some time while we're here, like probably poking around the house in places that he's not supposed to be, in order to find out more about what exactly it is that Alan, has not been telling us about his past. And I will leave this open to anybody, whoever feels like their character might be inclined to join and do the same.
If no one wants to snoop, I will offer, but I of course love giving spotlight to everybody else.
L.E.O. L.E.O. will definitely pitch in. It seems kind of data driven, so they're happy to help with that. And it also kind of connects to what I want to do. So
Ooh, I love the evil laugh. So I think while Anarch is being like going off and being taken by their mother to, I don't know, I imagine like let's say the kitchen is where you're being sectored off to. I think while we're sort of like just kind of awkwardly in your house, Lyana just kind of like looks around and kind of slinks off into what looks like the direction of like bedrooms, of multiple bedrooms. And maybe L.E.O like sees this and kind of like follows Lyana, and they are like peeking through trying to find one that looks like it would belong to Anarhk. Or at least to a younger Anarhk.
Do you want me? I guess there's probably one with a rocket ship on it. Like,
Is the bed in the shape of a rocket ship? Is it a rocket bed?
two rocket beds.
Of course. Okay. Of course. And I think like Lyana kind of like walks into this room and notices that there's probably two of like pretty much everything in this room, right? Like there's two beds, there's probably like two small desks, and there's like pairs of everything. And this is information that I don't think we have as crew. We were never told whether or not Anarch had a sibling, let alone a twin. But it seems more and more likely that that's what's going on. And so I think Lyana like is like rifling through the different like I'm trying to look for like picture albums or some sort of something that sort of concretely presents information that this is Anarch, and Anarch has a twin somewhere.
yeah. Is L.E.O also allowed to follow in and help then? Okay, cool. I think L.E.O might like kind of just stand in the middle of the room and sort of do like a scan for a moment and notice those desks and maybe some drawers in them that could lead to things inside of the drawers should we decide to open them.
I think if L.E.O like shares that information with Lyana, then Lyana would definitely go in and try and like open the drawers to see what's inside.
Yeah, so L.E.O will turn around and kind of call that out and say like I've noticed that there are things within these drawers. Should we explore?
Okay, and what would we find inside of these drawers, Anarch? Why don't you tell us?
Oh, you probably find journals, like journals upon journals of very technical drawings of like starting out like super young and then like more like uh ship building and like little like engineering bits. And those are in books marked Allen. And then in books marked Anarch, it's like little doodles, little comics of like some big bold hero discovering new alien planet frontiers and like names for ships and doodles and everything. And those are in books marked Anarch.
I think Lyana kind of holds both of them up, like holds up one journal each, one that says belonging to Alan, one that says belonging to Anarch, holds them up to L.E.O, and looks very confused. I don't understand what's happening here. The woman, presumably their mother, called them Alan, but one of these is marked Anarch, the other Alan.
The chances of the captain using both of these are extremely slim. So whoever is using the secondary one, this Anarch journal, must be a different person.
You don't think the captain has been impersonating their sibling this whole time, do you?
Given the actions of our captain, both good, bad, and otherwise, I would not be surprised if that were the case. But I am wondering who exactly this Anarch person is and where exactly they are.
I just don't understand why. Why pretend? And I think at this point, like Liana's like flipping through the Anarch journal specifically, the one with like comic book drawings and names of ships and stuff like that. Like, why pretend to be someone else?
I am afraid that I do not have an answer for that. Perhaps we can continue to look?
Maybe we'll find some answers here. I'm L.E.O, may I be honest with you?
Always.
I worry that the captain's intentions here may not be pure.
I find that worry valid. We have been given few details about this particular mission, and now we have apparently arrived to our captain's family home. I feel as though if we are to figure out anything else, we may have to start looking for things like this without the captain knowing.
Well, let's make sure that he doesn't find us then, eh?
Yes, that sounds good to me.
And Liana is going to continue searching through this room, specifically looking for any indication that Anarch, the real Anarch, if there is another real Anarch, whether or not this person is still alive. Because I think right now Liana is worried that Anarch is dead, and that for some reason Alan is pretending to be their twin.
I think you find everything to validate your concerns.
Ugh.
Because I think that if you look hard enough, there's like a large like like almost like a weird cabinet like on a nightstand next to one of these rocket beds. And when you open it up, it is a small memorial. And it has clippings of military squadron survives android attacked with only one member, Anarhk Matos. And it has it has pictures upon pictures of these twins, but also of the singular twin. And there are small differences. and like it is a funeral, like a funeral procession, but for Anarhk. Like pictures of that.
What differences are there physically between the two twins? Subtle ones, I'm sure, but
Oh yeah. The main difference is that you can see in these pictures, one of them had to have their eyes corrected. And so Anarhk, the young Anarhk, has a cybernetic glow in each of their eyes and a mole on the other side of their face.
Leo, do you ever remember what Anarch's eyes look like? What Alan's eyes look like?
Yes, I do a facial scan on all of my crew members so that I can remember.
Are Alan's eyes synthetic at all?
No, to my knowledge, almost everything about Alan is organic.
We need to talk to the rest of the crew.
Indeed.
And I think Lyana takes out a futuristic camera of some sort and takes pictures of all of the memorial, of these journals, everything. Not gonna take any of this out of the room, trying to put it back exactly the way that it was, trying their best to make it look like nobody had rifled through any of this stuff, and is going to walk out. Thank you, Cleric, for the suggestion of the phone being called the Spy Phone 87.
You're welcome.
Very tense moment.
Yeah, and I think Leo and Lyana just kind of run and try and find wherever Mleta and Lopez are or have been.
Jay, you are our next moment. You're muted, dear.
Of course I'm muted. Okay, so I'm looking at the moments. Which one did you guys just do? Because I feel like it went places where the text did not tell us it was going to go.
It was very loosely I take the time to study those who live and work at the sanctuary. Very loosely. Very loosely.
Okay. So I thought an interesting one would be, we find a means of communicating with the enemy hidden away in an unexpected place. So while you two are off doing stuff and Anarhk is off getting his ear dragged and probably going through family reunion time, Lopez and I are totally not awkwardly, because I think all of the awkwardness that we experienced recently was kind of overshadowed with, oh God, we're about to get blown up again. So we're mostly focused on surviving. And the ship is parked somewhere and getting worked on by mechanics, so we don't have to personally do that. We're all safe in our sanctuary, as safe as we can be. And I think we saw Anarhk go into a house, and we're in a different building, just I guess making ourselves comfortable because no one really told us what to do. So we're kind of at a loose end.
Yeah.
And hilariously, the battery died in my visor just as I was about to use it for a plot point. Oh, gotta recharge it between sessions. But anyway, I was doing my usual nosy thing. What Mleta does is scan her surroundings whenever she gets somewhere. And I notice that there's a lot of technology in this really unassuming building. And because Lopez is being kind of quiet, but I know that Lopez also has a similar scanner built into his suit, I ask, hey, are you getting that signal from downstairs? It's shielded, but there's something down there.
I think Lopez then goes to check the armor. Is yeah, I'm getting something very faint, kind of odd.
Right, you think it's a wine cellar or whatever, considering how rural everything is here, but that doesn't look like. I don't know what kind of alcohol storage system sends out that.
Yeah.
You want to go be nosy?
And kind of looks around at the town and just sees about nothing. It's sure.
All right, so we go down like a completely unassuming, normal looking staircase, and then we suddenly get to a door that is much newer than everything else around it. It's still like made out of similar make, but like it's more recent than everything else. I'm like, I wonder, like, I know this is the captain's like home base, but what did he do while he was here? Well, like while they were here, but so I don't want to like jailbreak the door, but there's definitely a way to gently hack.
Is the door locked?
It is locked.
Kicks the door in.
Is your foot okay? That door was sturdy.
I'm armor.
All right, right. Hopefully no one heard that.
Yeah. If they did, what they gonna do?
Yeah, drag us by the ear. Well, they can't get at your ears, can they?
No, they can't.
Anyway, looks around. What is that? It looks like a communicator, but
looks very old school.
yeah. Like, who are they calling on this? The year 2000? Like, geez.
I did love the Junuju brothers.
You are into your classics. Oh my. Spy phone 84.
I mean, do you want to try turning it on?
I don't know. I don't want to accidentally signal whoever this is going to signal by touching it, but I am going to run a scan to see what kind of connection it's using.
Sure.
And that's when I realize that it is sending a signal that's similar to what L.E.O has.
What? What do you mean by that?
This can network with the enemy's technology. Why would he have this here? Why is this here?
Moves closer to you just to see, it's like to confirm with their own like settings in the suit, and it's just like, and realizes that it's the same. It's like, okay, let's not.
I'm not touching this. I don't want. Why?
Let's.
There's got to be a good reason for this.
Well, is there?
I have no idea.
Mleta, you.
But it looks like it hasn't
Anarhk.
been used for ages. There's dust.
Mleta, you've known Anarhk the longest.
Yeah.
But how much do you really know about Anarhk?
I thought I knew enough.
There's a statue of him and someone else just in the middle of town. Someone calls Anarhk Alan. And now we see a mysterious, like, just old communicator down here. The pieces are falling somewhere. And if they're falling where I think they are, I'm going to kill Alan.
If you're right, I wouldn't stop you. But at the same time, it doesn't make sense that you would keep something that could endanger everyone in a place full of people who love you. And clearly, people care about Alan here. So I just don't understand why he wouldn't tell us.
Because that's what Alan does. Yeah, I think you see Lopez get more angry and angry and angry. Just like, this is what Alan, whatever, this is what they do. They constantly just, they've glossed over everything we've asked them with this like charisma, whatever. And then there's literally sitting there a way to get things, a way to signal.
But we don't know if this is safe to use. We don't know what it is, what it's for. Like, all we know is what kind of technology it has and can connect to. I don't want to make any snap judgments or jump to any conclusions until I know more.
I think Lopez kind of looks at you and then looks at the machine, and it's just like,
Like,
well,
as much
this
as I
one-
want to just destroy this thing, if it signals the enemy before we're ready, we are fucked. I will not let anyone be the reason why we lose this war. And I know that we didn't put this here, but in this moment, we have the ability to decide what happens next. And I think we at least owe it to ourselves and everyone else to think before we act here. Like, I'm trying not to let my emotions take control right now. And I know that it's hard because we've been through so much and we have been lied to so much and we have trusted so much.
I think
But-
hearing you say, oh yeah,
Go ahead.
I think hearing you say that, Lopez's anger subsides because they're like, I've already let anger dictate an action for me already. And hearing you be like, I want to get to the bottom of it, so I'm going to control my emotions. Lopez is like, that's kind of what I want to do. Like, that's what I need to be. So Lopez takes a deep breath. It's like, Mleta, I will follow your lead.
Thank you. All right. We need to make sure that the door is not broken so that if we have to lock this up again, nobody can get in here without access.
Oh, I for sure broke it. I'm gonna be honest.
Balls.
There's,
Okay,
I
so-
think the
so-
hinges are off it. I can fix it.
So we got to
I-
fix the door.
I
What
can
do-
fix the door.
What do you say we install a dual lock so that this cannot be opened without both of us knowing an individual code? So that way we're protecting everybody by making sure that this cannot be accessed without both of us knowing.
I'm with it. Okay.
Okay. And I just feel like the least we can do is make sure everyone is safe from this device being activated without us knowing about it, because the lack of communication, the secrets are going to get us killed. I want everything to be open. I want everyone to know what's happening here. And I think that we can start with this.
Okay.
All right, so let's do a complete scan. So we both have a copy of it on our computer so we can show it to L.E.O. We can show it to Lyana and Alan and be like, this is what we found. What's going on? What should we do? We want to work as a team and not just have one person deciding things for everyone and all of us having to live with their decisions.
Hmm. I'm gonna kick him in the chest though.
I'll help if that's what needs to be done.
All right.
But I want so badly to believe that this is something that we can address without eating ourselves alive. I want to see everyone make it out of here. And I really do think that we can do this as a team, but at the same time, I'm not going to ignore the facts that are in front of my face. And it's starting to look like something is not right here and that Alan is at the middle of it.
Gotcha.
If nothing else, we need to find out the truth about everything and figure out how this plays into what we're doing. Like, is it some kind of delivery system? Is there a signal that can be sent through it that can actually disrupt the enemy? If that's the case, then that is a very good reason for it to be here. But if that signal goes two ways, no one on this planet is safe once it gets sent out. So maybe what we need to do once we're ready and we know how to use it is do an evacuation. And that's why it's down here. So that way they can evacuate before they send the signal out. So that if it's possible for the enemy to follow, there's no one to take out their vengeance on. And if we're setting up a chain reaction by using this console, we need to be ready to drop the hammer at the end of it so that it ends here with us.
It could also just be a traitor device. So
It could absolutely be that. I'm just saying. If
But-
I'm wrong, if I'm right, at least we made sure that nobody could mess with it until we knew for sure what it was.
Gotcha. All right, let's put this in and then see if we can catch up with everybody else.
All right, let's do it.
And I think as you're putting it in, I think Lopez kind of looks at you and it just says like, "Hey, I'm sorry for my outburst on the ship. That was it okay to do?
Thank you.
Fuck you, but also I'm sorry."
I'm sorry for taking so much time to talk to the you in my head that I forgot to talk to the you that was out here suffering.
Yeah. And so I think they just silently repair it.
Next is my turn, but I kind of feel like we're all converging on me. So I kind of want to I kind of want to cede my turn to let Lopez and L.E.O get their moments in, unless one of you is going to choose me to be part of your moments.
Well, the moment that I chose for L.E.O is actually one you might be able to walk in on. So I might want to go last after Lopez. Yeah.
I was considering either doing a child makes their way to us and insists on becoming friends and like throws Lopez for a loop, or someone in Sanctuary draws close to me and makes their desires immediately clear and compelling. I was like, should I do that with Lyana? So which are we feeling? You know what? I think
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to cede my turn for you to do that before we all
that sounds good.
get
You should do
fired
that.
and messy.
Yeah, I'm about it.
I love that idea.
So which one?
I mean,
Gaze in space.
Gaze in space.
Gaze in Spain.
Gaze in Spain. Space pain.
Oh my god, I'm blushing.
Oh my god. All right, so let's see that one. Let's see. I guess like as like Mleta and Lopez kind of finish sealing up the door and we're kind of walking like back towards the center, I think kind of it also converges with Lyana and Lopez kind of walking from the house. And I think Lopez clearly sees that you're like upset about something and kind of peels off from Mleta and goes like, hey, you good?
Hey, Lopez, where were you coming out? It doesn't matter. No, everything's not okay. Anarhk, Alan has been lying to us this whole time.
I've been getting that kind of vibe. We found something too that is super sketchy and suspicious. Communicating with the enemy kind of device.
And Lyana just kind of like stops. I imagine like the two of them were like walking back towards the house, and Lyana just like stops in their tracks. And I think, without thinking, just kind of like grabs onto Lopez's hand to like stop them as well. What? Communicating with the enemy.
Okay, yeah, that sounds bad. It might not be it. Mleta gave off a whole other options that it could be that are way better, that could be saving grace, but it has the same signal that L.E.O has the same signal that the enemy uses. So it's very much up in the air. But
Anarch's twin is dead. Alan is pretending to be his twin. I don't know why. I don't know since when.
I'm gonna kill him. Because there's a realization that happens in like Lopez's head that they'll articulate to like they'll just like there's a realization that happens. But I don't know, what did you want to say?
No, go for it.
No, I think I'll get the realization for a quick like for me right now.
Oh, okay. Keep your secrets then. Okay. And I think Lyana is still like holding on to Lopez's hand as they're talking here, and they kind of like step in a little bit closer just to like whisper quietly to Lopez. I'm worried that Alan has been working for the enemy this whole time. What if the reason that they're back is because Alan made it so we couldn't actually defeat them?
And I think unconsciously, Lopez grips your hand in like a comforting way, not like a very comforting way, and it's kind of just like, I I don't. That'd make a lot of sense, but I I think I don't I don't I and I think you're just seeing like so many emotions being processed and just like
Hey. And I
yeah.
think Lyana looks up at Lopez, at their mask, and kind of like gently raises their hand as if to go and like put a hand on Lopez's face, but just kind of hovers there instead, like doesn't make contact. And as they're looking up, their like scar on their face that they got as a result of everything that happened the last time with our crew is just in stark relief in this light.
Mm.
And they look up at you with this almost pleading at you, and they say, Lopez, I don't know who I can trust right now. Tell me that I can trust you.
And I think Lopez looks for the first. I think for the first time ever, looks you in the eyes, and I think finally kind of takes you in as a whole, and sees his scar that's like right on his face, and the realization, or like kind of the thought of like, oh wait, I wasn't the only one fucked up. Like I am doing this woe is me pity routine, and like what like there's somebody right in front of me who is also like hurt, and I shouldn't be taking like. So I think that's real. And so then Lopez, I think, lowers their face so that your hand touches the like the top of the mask, and just in a very like a deep breath, and just like, I trust you. I don't think I have earned your trust, but I trust you.
And as you make contact with Liana's hand and you say that, I think they pull your head closer to their own so that their foreheads touch as you're saying this to them. And he just closes his eyes and lets your voice kind of like wash over them in this close proximity, which for the first time in a very long time, they have been so close to each other.
Yeah.
And I think it's a moment, there's like a beat before Lyana even responds, not wanting to tear away the like sacredness, the softness of this moment between them. And without pulling away, without opening his eyes, he just says, I will put my life in your hands if I need to. I trust you.
And I think stays there in just that moment. And I think grips your hands, and it's just like just stays there, and it's like, whatever it is, whatever this, and it kind of this being like the whole situation is, I will do everything I can to make sure that we're okay.
And I think the we in that sentence is the bit that Lyana kind of like focuses in on. Not sure if Lopez is referring to we as a crew or we as in the two of us.
Lopez
And-
isn't sure either.
I love it. And Lyana's too afraid to ask because they don't want to know. If it's not us, they don't want to know. And I think they pull back from Lopez, give their hand one final squeeze, and they say, we should go tell Mleta. And Leo, what you've learned as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, I'm gonna follow Mleta's lead on this one. Uh,
Really?
so yeah.
It's unlike you.
Someone told me I should be open to new experiences, and kind of like nudges you on like that.
Careful, or I might start making more suggestions.
Well, I seem to like your suggestions.
And I think Lyana just kind of lets go of Lopez's hand and like starts walking towards wherever towards the house. I think is where we have assumed that Mleta and Leo are going to be. But they can't help the fact that there's a little smile that has come across their face the whole way there. Despite the fact that we may be getting betrayed by our captain, but I think that's
I like on that fact. I like to imagine there's this very soft moment, and then whatever is happening with Mleta and Leo is gonna happen right now.
Yes. Are you guys all good and wrapped up before okay, cool. I think I need to unmute myself here. So moving over to Leo, who is in the house, presumably like either nearby or like within Mleta's like reach. Leo has kind of wandered into perhaps a room in the house that they saw like an open door and some light in the room, and the light was patterning in a certain way, and so they kind of wandered toward it. And so if Mleta is curious enough to find them in there, Leo, the Leo you will find is in front of perhaps a large screen, staring at what looks to be like several lines of like texts in rows with like toggle arrows, because what Leo has found is a personal cache of messages that have never been sent. And I'll leave that up to Anarhk or Alan to tell us what these messages are.
They are messages from Alan to Anarhk. And they are short things. They are can't wait to squad up with you. We're gonna be the best team, and things like pictures of a very rail thin man with like very short cropped hair in a uniform that like people would recognize as the engineering school for like one of the biggest like regional like exploration forces. And then a man that looks very much like Anarhk, but with those bright blue eyes, with cybernetic light, like that is taller and like short cropped hair and laughing. And it is like our last vacation. And then it's stuff that's like, and then it's much deeper stuff, longer things, columns of like, this is what happened today. um and you find that the messages become journals of trying to survive on a planet after some amount of death. It's never detailed exactly what happened, but it is text that there's a lot of spelling mistakes, there's a lot of like clipped sentences, everything just message after message after message, until just a single message that says they found me.
And so Leo is standing there in front of that monitor, and Mleta, if you want to enter the room, they'll turn back to you.
Mleta's still kind of shook from what happened and like what she's just seen and trying to like refocus because she doesn't want to really confront the thoughts that she's put away until it's time to like talk to everyone about it. Oh, hey Leo, what'd you find? What is all this?
It appears to be a large cache of messages from Alan to Anarhk, but these span over a long amount of time, and I am not entirely sure, despite the context, what this means. And Leo turns around to you and kind of reveals the same sort of news that Lopez just revealed to Lyana, and says, we believe the captain may have taken this person's identity or something along those lines. And this person themselves is no longer either alive or on this planet. But now with these messages, I feel as though this story may be deeper.
I feel as though we need to find a therapist on this planet. Oh my God, there's a lot to unpack here.
I can search for top therapists across the galaxy if you wish for me to.
You know, we always say we have to make time or time's going to make us. And I feel like that has never been more relevant than right now. I will take you up on that later. Let me look at these messages. Oh my gosh. Wow. I don't know if you're familiar with this, Leo, but sometimes people write messages and don't send them on purpose. And sometimes it can be a way to kind of give yourself catharsis or to try to get thoughts out when you don't really have a person to share them with anymore.
Do you believe that this is what is happening here? That Alan is writing to Anarhk long after Anarhk has left us?
I think so. And I feel bad reading these private messages, but it's not like we had any way of knowing what they were until we
Leo has no conscience about this.
No.
It's data. Leo is reading it. There's no conscience involved.
Was there a password when you turned this on, or any kind of PIN number?
No, it was simply open and ready to unlock, and the screen was on and flashing with a screensaver with a small speline animal bouncing across the screen. And so I simply touched the screen and turned it back on, and here we are now in front of these messages.
Well, I guess in that case, it's not entirely unethical, and it doesn't say keep out super secret journal, my eyes only.
I wonder. I can download the contents of these messages should we wish, but with your concern on ethics, I would love to get your opinion on that.
Well,
should we save these in me?
I feel like if it was a thing that could give us insight and intel into the enemy or anything that we'd have to fight. But from your cursory inspection, did you see anything that you think might be useful in terms of modern warfare or in terms of intelligence outside of like what we currently know? Or is it just more personal things?
Since Leo can pretty much search these and read these automatically.
Exactly.
There are several, like in the final diaries of these messages, there are several mentions of the enemy and like desperate attempts to try and figure out how to fight them.
And Leo reveals that information to.
Well, in that case, if it is useful, I know that when you've told me before that when you read things, it goes into like a temporary cache, but if you want to save it as a permanent memory, I think that actually would be for the best. And we can talk to the captain later and see if he'd like for you to purge them. But I think that in the interest of safety for everyone, it's important to keep as much information about the enemy as we can. And that we don't want to be disrespectful, but at the same time, we also want to survive.
I cannot agree more. I'll download these messages right away.
Would it be okay if I interrupted you at this moment? Yeah, I think Leo says, I'll download these right away. And that's when you hear the voice, and it is stern, and it is angry. You could just ask.
Well, every time we ask you, you leave stuff out or you flat out lie.
And so that makes this okay?
I'm not saying it's okay. I'm saying what you just said is another lie.
No, it's not.
How
Get out
can
of
we
here.
ask
Get
you
out
if
of
we
this
can't
room.
trust
Dinner's
you?
ready. Get out of this room. Go to the table. If you want to hear all of this, then go sit your ass down.
You don't speak to me like this.
You. What are the both of you two doing in here?
The light was on.
The door
I-
was open.
And that gives you free reign over someone's home.
You didn't tell us anything. You gave us no information. We've just been trying to
I've
figure
been
it out.
talking to my mother.
Yes.
If
but
you had
you
been
could've-
patient, you would have learned. Now go to the kitchen table. I'll answer your questions
We
there.
would have learned. I have given you more patience than any sentient being has given to another in a lifetime.
And I've given you more than you deserve.
Oh, is that so?
Yes.
Well, I hope you enjoy dinner without me because I'm not going.
Fine. Be ignorant. Learn from everyone else.
Wow. Is this the way that you want things to be between us?
This is the way. Is this the way that you interact with everyone? Or what are you going to do next? Are you going to go through and dig up Lopez's health records?
No, because
Are you
when I
gonna go
ask Lopez
through-
a question, he answers me. They answer me. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I don't have to do that with him. And I didn't choose to do this either. When I got here, L.E.O was looking at information and all I asked was, is there any intel on the enemy? And there is. And that's all I care about. I'm not here to dig up your history or your past. I'm just here to help us get through this. And rather than respond to the actual important things that are happening, you are taking everything extremely personal, even though I've never
This is
pressed
my
you.
life.
And
I
you
brought you
haven't-
here to heal. I brought us here to fix our ship. I brought us here to show you guys something very personal.
I'm happy you decided to show us, but when were you ever
Yeah.
going to tell
No,
us?
no, listen. I heard you guys the first night on the ship. I heard that you're here only because you think that I'm a fuck up. But I dragged all of you through the fire. And yeah, all of us got burned. But I was the one who held us together, not you.
It's
So,
a team effort and we all have to hold each other together. It's not just one person. It never was.
well,
And never
guess
will
what?
be.
It definitely felt that way.
I'm sorry that it felt that way. to
So
you.
I don't care about your apologies right now. You are intruding on my. If you knew what you were doing right now, you would apologize.
If you
So I'm
could
gonna give you a
tell me
chance.
what's wrong, I would know what to
Come
apologize for.
To dinner. And I will explain to everyone because this is not a conversation I want to have more than once.
And that's fair. Thank you for inviting me without cursing at me or treating me like I've been disrespectful to you when I don't know what's
You have been
happening.
disrespectful. You literally invaded
You
invaded
did not
the place.
tell us what to do when we got here. We had
My
no way of
mother
knowing.
dragged me out. You're right. I should have just cursed at my mother and just come.
That's not what I said.
Yeah, but it's what you meant. You
No,
meant you wanted me to
I
put
would
you
never
above
say
what
that
was
or
happening.
mean that. Oh my gosh. Okay,
Listen.
let's just go to the table and get this over with because I feel like I've been having half a conversation with you for years and I'm ready for the other half of it. That would be wonderful. Let's go.
You think of yourself so highly.
I don't
And
actually.
Anarhk, yeah, you do. You think you're better than me. You think you understand me more than yourself. You are so ready to be my therapist when all I ever wanted was for you to be my friend.
I'm not a professional. I'm not your therapist, and I am trying to be your friend. But I can't be the friend of someone who doesn't tell me everything that's happening, so I can't understand what is going
don't-
on.
L.E.O interjects here. L.E.O interjects and says that on my searches, I found 52 therapists across the galaxy if we need one.
Thank you so much, L.E.O. We will definitely check on those after dinner.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It may surprise you, Leo, but I already have one. And yeah. Oh yeah, another thing I didn't want to tell you about because you would have nitpicked about it all the time. And Anarhk just storms off to the table. And on the table is quite a meal. And I don't, Jay, I don't mean to like, I feel like Mleta was very helpful but kind of controlling about the space that Anarhk and her like lived in. I don't feel like Anarhk got to cook often. Is that fair to say?
It's extremely fair to say.
um and so I think like he sort of like goes and he stands behind the chair at the head of the table, and he's like, I while you guys were doing whatever, snooping through my fucking house, I have made a meal for us because there's a lot to talk about. And like I think he waited to say that until like Lyana and Lopez were in there, Lyana and L.E.O, and the older woman has left the house, like probably past Lyana and Lopez on the way out, and just sort of like moved to sort of give the crew the space. Welcome to my childhood home. Now, I am going to let you each have one question. And
I'm going last.
Sure. And I ask that when I answer your question, you give me a chance to explain myself fully before anyone else interjects. Is that fair?
I think Lopez looks at Mleta and Lyana, and then like looks at everyone else in the room to gauge the reaction.
I think Lyana just pulls out the picture that they took of all of the stuff in Anarch's room, in Alan's room. Why are you pretending to be your brother?
A bunch of emotions go across Anarch's face. And the first one is anger. And you see that fury. And he takes a couple breaths. And it quickly falls to just like that haunted look that Lyana saw when they first did the ritual. And it is frustrated and sad. And Anarch's just like, because he died. And no one would have missed Alan, but everyone would have missed Anarhk. So 20 years ago, Alan died in the mud of a world that no one remembers, and Anarhk figured out how to fight the enemy and came back to be the biggest damn hero of the galaxy.
I don't understand.
Well, I was an engineer for the Explorers Corps, and my brother was the biggest pilot you'll ever hear of. Anarhk had 2 medals of service by the time the enemy started creeping up. And we were sent to look for an outpost in some backwater world I don't even remember the name of. And when we've got there, the enemy killed every single member of my squad, including my brother, who I held in my arms when he passed. When we were found, I was mistaken for him, and everyone was so happy that this war hero figured out a way to fight the enemy. And no one cared about Alan. People listened to me because I was Anarhk. And so I became Anarhk. Alan died 20 years ago, and Anarhk stayed alive.
I think Lyana leans back in his chair and just kind of looks at Alan. Just this very calculating look, like they're taking them in. And I think they fall silent for a bit, letting the space kind of fill up and letting someone else ask a question.
Leo will follow up on that question and ask about Anarch's mother, because she seems to know him as Alan. And so they ask him, when you came home to your mother, would that mean that she is the only one who knows?
Whole town knows.
This town knows.
Yeah. No one here could mistake me for Anarhk. Definitely not my mother. And so I came home after I had after we had done a lot of our work. Like I'm sure you remember, I left for like 3 weeks just to take a breather after one of our big missions. And I came home and I told the whole story. And my mom, she just sort of told me that she wished that Alan had been as valuable. But yeah, not in a mean way. She just, I think it was her way of saying that she wished that I had been able to be myself. But it wouldn't have worked that way. I don't think so, at least. And it's too late to change anything.
Satisfactory. I've asked my question.
Thank you, Leo.
I think it's very subtle, but I think to those who are paying attention, Lopez is shaking. Just shaking. And as they get to their turn, it's very silent before like they let the silence kind of stay, and it gets very heavy. And so Lopez then, in like a very shaky kind of voice, like, Alan, I just have one question for you.
Okay.
And I want to be very transparent.
Okay.
How you answer this question depends on whether or not I put a knife in the middle of your chest.
Okay.
How much military experience do you actually have? And no, that's it. That's the whole question.
I was a military engineer, Lopez.
And that's not, it like slams, I don't know what I actually do, but it's like slams their fist on like the table. Like, that's not what I asked. I asked you, how much military experience do you have?
Well, when I was 19 and took the spearhead of the whole fucking war, I had 6 months of military experience.
Lopez, I think, leans back in the chair, lets that kind of statement hang in the room. Then I think gets up and tries to strangle you.
Mm-hmm.
Like legitimately gets up and just tries to just strangle you. And I don't know if anyone else at the table wants to stop Lopez from doing that, but like gets up to try it, or like if you want to move out the way, but Lopez is like charging for you.
I think Lyana stands up and gets in between you two. I think before you're able to even like put a hand on Alan at all, Lyana stands up and gets in between.
Yeah, and it's just like, you son of a bitch. The only reason I followed anything you said was because I thought you were a leader. I thought you had experience. I thought you were a soldier like me. I followed you. I listened to your orders. I let you lead me into that death trap because I thought you and it's like I think slowly just crumples in like all the anger just leaves and just kind of crumples in like Lyana in his arms and just like I followed you. I risked everything. And it's kind of just like, I think through that, just that last statement just hits the air.
And Anarhk looks at Lopez and says, before that accident, I had steered us to everywhere we needed to go. And you're proving my point exactly. Alan had no value. And Anarhk had all the cards to play. And if I had let Alan be the person to lead, no one would have listened. And we wouldn't even have what we have now.
I don't think Lopez is even remotely responding and is just in like kind of like holding Lyana like by the shirt, just like head in like the chest kind of position, just like kind of that.
And Lyana is just holding on to Lopez gently, I think, in this moment, with their back towards Anarhk, because they had come in between the two of them, and is just kind of silently trying to be physically present for Lopez.
And Anarhk sort of like looks at Mleta.
Mleta's just gripping the table so hard so she doesn't float away. Because she's thinking about all the times she's defended and tried to be supportive and tried to connect and listen and just put aside every nagging feeling she had that something wasn't right. And now she's kind of wishing she'd listened to those feelings. She looks at the Anarhk. Alan. So is this the only thing you were talking around when you would talk to me and you wouldn't say everything?
I mean, what else did you leave? You were enamored with this man who wasn't real. And so everyone who demanded me to be Anarhk to save them, I've put on this mask for 20 years. Isn't this big enough? No, I haven't lied to you about anything else. My biggest lie is who I am.
The way you say that they made you, that someone came and made you do this, that made you just discard your entire self and try to impersonate your brother. None of us made you do that. None of us told you that you had to do that.
Before we won the war, before we broke apart, we lost 153 colonies. I know the exact population numbers of all the dead on those 163 colonies. And you guys were there. You guys were there when we were getting desperate cries after desperate cries. And you guys saw all of it. Like you said, you were trying to keep me from breaking apart. It was the 5 of us spearheading an entire war. That I'm not going to say that the pressure was all on me, but you guys all knew that pressure. That people were expecting us to find a way to fix it. Don't you lie to me and say that there wasn't that pressure to be that spear tip.
You could have been yourself.
We're
You
your
didn't have to.
Look at
tell-
Lopez. I couldn't have been myself. They wouldn't have listened to a man with 6 months of experience. No matter that I spent 138 days being hunted by the enemy on that planet.
Don't.
What?
You made a choice for yourself. We didn't ask you to do that for us.
Okay. But I'm telling you right now, without what I found out on that planet, things would have gone on for much longer. And no
that's
one would
fine.
have listened to who I was. You
You
guys are
never
upset.
gave us the option, the
Never had
choice
the
to
chance.
listen to who you were. We never knew you.
Yes,
for who
you
you
guys
really
didn't
were.
know me. But by the time you had met me, how could I go back on that lie?
And there it is. There it is. This is what's at the root of all the things that you've done, all the ways that you've mistreated us, and the way that you've just it. I understand not being able to take something back, but that doesn't mean that you can't move forward and do better than you did before. Do we all at least agree that that is something that we can change? Like, we're not asking you to suddenly stop being who you are, but we're saying, can you at least give yourself the opportunity to stop being a complete dick when we're trying to save everyone? I feel like you're lashing out at us because you're angry that you didn't get to be yourself, and you still feel like you have to be your brother or else
No.
nothing will work.
No,
No,
you are
you
putting
can't
these
do
emotions
better.
on me.
You have to
I
be like
literally,
this.
I brought us here to try and recover, to try and share this with you. But you
We're
all,
listening. Are you
You
listening?
were snooping. You were snooping. You
Oh
guys
my
came
God,
to me
how do
with
you
these
reveal
questions.
your entire life as a lie and then get angry at us for trying to understand the person who we thought we knew, who you are confessing was not real, and you're mad that we're trying to understand you?
Mleta, they're right.
No, I'm not saying that they're wrong.
We
What I'm s-
shouldn't have looked through your things.
I really wanted to share this with you guys. I thought this would be a place that we could maybe clear the air. But yeah, no,
I think at this moment, Lopez finally kind of like stands up and without really looking at anyone, it kind of just says, he's like, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. I followed you. And that's my fault. I looked at a war hero and said, put my trust in just that, a title. That's my fault. But I'm not doing that anymore. Goes over, walks past, walks straight up to Alan, stands there, and says, same when they did the introduction, puts a hand very gently on Alan's shoulder and says, I'm not following a war hero. Punches Alan straight in the stomach, then looks to Mleta and says, I'll follow your lead.
I think I'm gonna end card that.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
I appreciate what happened, but I wanna kind of get away from that.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay. What do we want to do instead?
No, I'm okay with the actions that have happened.
Yes.
But I wanna cut off any further violence of
actually,
that.
I'll retcon. I don't think punching you is appropriate. I do think Lopez walks up to you and does put the hand on you, but instead of, I think that's so much better. Thank you. I think Lopez, you see the anger kind of drain away from Lopez towards you. And you could see like there's something mixed of just like sadness and just like puts hand on the shoulder and then puts it off and then says the same thing to Mleta. It says, what do you want to do? Does that work a little bit better? Or?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, no, totally.
Okay, so we're continuing.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate your trust. What do you want us to call you?
Anarhk.
Okay. Anarhk, can we ask you something that's not related to you trying to be your brother, or just something else that Lopez and I are concerned about?
All right.
I'm sorry for snooping. And I'm sorry for not respecting your privacy. But at the same time, because we're all on edge about the attack and we wanted to make sure we weren't being followed, we were running scans to make sure that there was no suspicious signal tracking or energy happening. And we did notice a really strong energy signature coming from the basement. What is that?
Anarhk looks genuinely confused.
You don't know?
No, what are you talking about?
Oh God, okay. So we didn't do anything to activate it. We just investigated what it was. We scanned it so we could show you guys, everyone as a team, because we felt like the best thing to do was not to just make any unilateral decisions.
Okay.
I get my scanner and I put up a 3D image and you guys see the communications console.
No. You're telling me that there's an enemy operative on
I want you to know
planet?
that it's not active. It is not actively doing anything. It is just existing and it's plugged in, but it's not currently connected to anything. So we're safe and it's shielded. So you wouldn't notice it unless you were in the building. We did not notice it until we were inside.
Yeah. Like
so
all the color
safe.
is draining out of Anarch's face.
I just want you guys to know that it's here and we secured it. It cannot be opened without both Lopez and I present entering code that only we know. And I don't know their code. They don't know my code. It's as safe as we could make it.
I think I want to hit an ending, and I think I want to hit an ending that might be a little bit different than what we were expecting.
Okay.
And I think there's some shouting outside.
I quickly hide the image. It's
And
gone.
and Anarhk runs, because this is Anarch's home, and Anarhk runs out, and someone is at the stone statue with a laser trident and slamming it down. And Anarhk is confused and upset. And this is an enemy that, again, we thought we had destroyed. And I think I want to put, like, we had never seen this enemy's face. And in this moment, the visor clicks up, and it's Anarch's exact face with glowing blue eyes.
Of course it is.
What?
Yeah.
Augers.
How could you do this?
Save your punches, Lopez. You're gonna need them, but not for Anarhk. For
No, for Anarhk.
I've been
What's
telling-
going on?
I have been telling a Cloud Strife story. And
I
he's a
knew that.
Sephiroth.
I absolutely knew that. The minute they said the dang twins, I was like, I knew it. I knew it.
Card time.
What the fuck?
All right.
I
So,
don't even know. I don't even know how we're gonna get. Oh, sorry.
TVtropes.com.
All right, so we're gonna go in order of players. Cleric, Catrina.
Yeah.
Hamnah. Okay. All right, ready, Cleric?
I'm with my fingers
Black.
crossed. Let's go!
Are you keeping it?
are you keeping
Yes. Yeah. Fuck yeah, I'm keeping that.
Describe the loyalty.
I think throughout this entire episode, I think Lopez has gotten closer to the crew at large. I think closer with L.E.O. in New Traditions, closer to Lyana with their old romance, and especially closer with Mleta, just being like, I will, like, trusting them and not being like, you're a follower of Anarhk. And I think also closer with Alan, with the idea of, like, okay, this person, I kind of get where this person's coming from. They found information, war hero. Doesn't mean I forgive them, but I think I'm getting it. I don't think I'll trust them to lead, but I get it.
Mm,
So I think that's kind of Lopez's thought process at the moment.
I love it.
Okay, Catrina. You also got a black card.
Oh, cool. All right.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I think. Can you phrase to me exactly what the black card does again? My dog is
Loyalty is regained. If
Loyalty
the
is
player
regained.
keeps the card, they briefly describe what this regained loyalty looks like: a changed relationship, a new belief, or a growing hope, etc. If the crew member gives it away, they describe a moment of closeness to the person they gave it away to.
Okay, cool. So this time I'm going to go ahead and keep it and actually suggest that part of the regained loyalty that L.E.O has is not only through their bonding with the crew, but finding out and ultimately, like, containing all this information about the captain. Unfortunately, because they had, like, sneaked in, it's not really, it's a little against the captain's will, if that's okay with you.
Oh, yeah.
But knowing everything about the captain has sort of grounded L.E.O in a way that they haven't been grounded in that relationship before.
Awesome.
Hamnah.
Don't let the enemy get them, though.
Hamnah, you also got a black card.
Hey, we're doing so well. I am going to, in a plot twist, give mine to Anarhk, to Victor. Because I think throughout this whole thing, Lyana has been very, like, thrown for a loop. It's a bit like emotional whiplash throughout this whole process. Coming in a little bit suspicious and then having just the worst assumptions made and then finding out all of this. I think it was a lot to process, but I think that the fact that Alan is finally being open and honest with the crew, I think, like, means a lot to Lyana. And I think that their silence throughout this whole encounter has been them processing that and processing the information. And I think the place that they come to is that this is a step in the right direction. This is good. This is change. And that I think their trust in Anarhk as a captain has increased for knowing all of this and for Anarhk coming and giving this information willingly.
Okay. Jay, your card is black.
Oh, look at that. Everyone's doing so well. What?
You deserve this after like 8 red cards straight.
Oh gosh. That's true. Oh boy. Well, it's been a rough one. I feel like the loyalty is strong, but also the guilt and thinking, wow, how I know that being kind and understanding and patient with your crew cannot overcome everyone's insecurities, but there's that inner frustration of why wasn't I good enough that Anarhk couldn't have felt safe telling me, and that I didn't create a safe enough like home environment that he could have been like, okay, so actually I really wasn't my brother the whole time. Like, you thought I was gonna just kick you out of the house? Like, no, I wasn't, I promise. Even though we're all like angry and in our feelings, when you think about it, you're like, I feel like everyone in the crew has gone through their moments of weakness and like their struggles, and we all, maybe we wouldn't have done exactly the same thing, but like after giving it some time, we have like more understanding and patience. Like maybe we're not completely forgiven, but we're not. No one's being thrown out of the house. We're gonna come together like a family, and we're gonna fight this new enemy that looks very familiar. God, I can't believe it. So bad.
I was so ready for a Sephiroth reveal.
Oh,
I was
my
like,
Lord, of course you were.
That was brilliant. That was genius. That was such a good reveal.
The costume now makes so much sense.
It does.
All right, Vic, you ready for your card?
Yes.
Black.
Amazing. I was so ready for it to be red.
Oh yes, we're making improvements out
It
here.
would have been great, like, narrative for this mini game though if it was red.
It would have.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I'm gonna give this card to L.E.O actually. Because even though L.E.O is the one who kind of snooped in the worst place and the one that is going to mess up Anarhk the most, when we get out of this place, and Anarhk would be like, you read all of them, and then just sort of like just kind of fall apart about that, because no one has known Alan in over 20 years. Like Anarhk had never admitted to anyone what had happened. 138 days of like trying to survive and sending messages to your dead brother, to like try and keep yourself like up. And L.E.O now knows all of it. And it's a trust that Anarhk didn't realize that he wanted to give. And now that L.E.O has had, L.E.O even if L.E.O is upset or messed up about it, like L.E.O at least is someone that like has an insight that no one else has. And I think he's very excited about that.
Is there like a way I could, do we want to wait until the next episode to like tail end that moment? Because I know exactly how L.E.O would respond. Find out.
Yeah, we've gone a bit over, but I'd love to tail end that at the beginning of the next episode if you guys
Yes, okay, I'll make sure to remember it.
All right, and we've come to the end of our game, guys. Lots of reveals, lots of feels, and something else that rhymes with eels.
Lots of meals for
Lots
everyone.
of meals
after
for
this.
everyone
Lots of
except
spiels.
Lopez.
Oh,
Spiels.
Lots of spiels.
yeah, I truly love the color teals.
Oh well, I gotta add this one to my reels.
I was very vulnerable this episode, kind of like a seal.
I hope that we get a good deal.
All right, guys. Please tell the people who you are. Cleric.
Yes, hello. It's your local fuck up Cleric here. Very emotional episode today. But I have been Cleric. You can find me at Cleric_34 on Twitter and on TikTok. I make comedy videos, mostly just put shit posts on the internet. But if you want to see me talk more TTRPGs or just more kind of podcast or hear my voice over a long period in general, I have a podcast called Monster Fuckers Anonymous, aka MFA. Show we talk about monsters, talk about their lore, everything about them, and rate them on a scale of 1 to 10 for how much you should have loving relations with that monster. Some are good, some are bad. Most are average, but all of them are sexy. We're recording right now. We're a bit of a hiatus. We're coming back in September, hopefully. So listen to the backlog episodes we got that are coming out.
Ooh, Catrina.
Yes.
Hello there. I'm Catrina. You can find me anywhere on the internet at Catrina. That's OHCATRINA. When I am not being a robot on Twitch, I am also writing comics and hosting podcasts, some of which include Padro Pascal, the podcast where we go through Pedro Pascal's discography and fangirl over it. As well as a Fight Club Far, Far Away, where I recap the best battles in Star Wars and how they were made, and my upcoming podcast, because I have way too many, What's Glup, where we talk about everyone's Glup Shitto, which is a minor character in Star Wars. And I do a lot of other things, but you can find me at Katrina.
Thank you. Hamnah.
Yes, hello everybody. My name is Hamnah. I use any and all pronouns, and I am a TTRPG performer. You can find me on Twitter at @shahid_, where I talk about all of the different projects that I'm a part of. I'm in a few different things, so Twitter's the best place to know where I'm at any given point in time. Really exciting is this Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, I will be on the Lady May's channel for a Wizards of the Coast sponsored one-shot for Journey Through the Radiant Citadel. It is going to be a reprise of our characters from the last one-shot, so if you want to see us play it out again, you should come watch. It's going to be a really good time.
Awesome. Thank you. Jay.
Hello, hi, I'm Jay Justice. I'm a cosplayer with like 120 costumes. God help me. You can find me on Twitch and all the other things at that Jay Justice. No spaces, no underscore, just THATJAY Justice. I also stream on the Black Fae Day channel because I'm one of the Black Fae Day streamers. You do all kinds of fun like fantasy artwork. I do digital art and writing and just all the things. Also, I do the accessibility copywriting for Paper Girls. Watch Paper Girls on Prime. It's good.
Awesome. All right, and I guess that leaves me for now. At the top of my thing, I want to thank Mare for the channel help and for being our producer. You're a rock star. And I am currently on a Wanderhome game that goes every Tuesday over on TTRPG. I play Geronimo, a big Mkuchi, which is a Venezuelan sheepdog, who is the fool. And I will break your hearts in other different ways, I promise. Or just make up songs on the middle of stream, which I did last stream. And otherwise, you can find me as a contributor to Splat 3 Intimacy, where I do love to get really detailed about how to introduce intimacy in your games. And if you don't have it, it's a great read. And otherwise, yeah, you can find me here, and I'm very happy to like bring this game to you and bring all these feelings to you guys. Thank you so much.
All right, and that brings me super quick with some channel announcements. Hi, Mare, producer and card keeper for the game. The Mind and the Martyr is back on Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's our flagship D&D campaign. On Wednesdays, we have this lovely game of Should Suns Rise of Once More Into the Void. On Sundays, we have Demon's Creek, our all-POC Wild West Urban Shadows game run by @ReliableElliot. And premiering this next Thursday on the 18th, we have the premiere of Camp Carnage, our Monster of the Week campaign run by Russ Wildest. That's going to be every other Thursday, but starting on the 18th, and premiering on the last Saturday of the month, the 27th, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We have the premiere of Printweaver Journey, which I will be GMing with an amazing cast, and I just got all the character art back, and I'm super excited. Anyway, please stick around. We are going to raid. Wrong person. But we are going to raid J-Rock the God. So stick around. They are playing Ocarina of Time. So we'll see y'all next week for the next game. And bye.